Take a look. It's in a book. A
Reading
reading
rainbow.
Now this video has been flagged for the reading rainbow theme.
No, we were
That's
under
it.
7 seconds.
LeVar Burton is going to take us to court, and this will be the end of the entire series.
Oh, how did his Kickstarter ever turn out? Did they ever get Reading Rainbow back up?
I think
pretty
so.
sure
I
they did.
saw a video of him crying. So
Oh.
about it, like
pretty
happy
sure-
tears.
Okay,
Like,
okay, good. I was gonna say.
I'm fairly certain they got they not only got all of the money that they wanted, but they got way more than they wanted within the first day.
Oh, okay, wow. Good, good. I just when you said cry, I was just like, you guys don't care about your children.
Oh, I guess I should open up to roll 20, huh? That
Might be an
makes things
idea.
easier to GM.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, guys, I realize, and I'm fine with this because Al would probably not have been thinking about it. I think I left my gloves behind.
Yeah,
'Cause
you
we
did.
Picked up
You
for
can go
Dad
back
and
for him if you
GTFO.
want.
No,
Are you sure?
I think I'll just
Are
find
you
replacement gloves.
They're right there. It's perfectly safe.
You need to find replacement gloves for your power armor.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, Squee.
Well, I was busy.
Yeah, it's fair.
Okie dokie, artichokes. Are we all here?
Mm-hmm.
I do think
Alrighty.
so.
So when we last left off, you guys made a harrowing escape from some sort of tentacled monster that nearly killed one of your Inuit companions, Neela. But thanks to some quick action and good medical attention, he was saved from the brink of death. And although now conscious, is still a little hurt. He's being carried right now by Al and his niece Bonique. As you are all still within this frozen meteor, for lack of a better word, far, far high up in the Arctic. Thankfully, however, you believe you have all three, for lack of a better word, prisons that are holding these spirits of light, ready to be brought back to a more sacred, consecrated ground for the prisons to break away. You hear a few angered thumping noises coming far, far, far back behind you, but you do not see anything in these rocky caverns or hear the noises get any louder. Whatever you did to anger this strange beast, it is not pursuing you, or perhaps it is unable to. What would you guys like to do? You have, right now, we're going to just NPC, I was going to say Neela, whatever her name is, Ellie, at this point. But Bear is present, as well as Bonique, of course, and the conscious, albeit hurting, Neela.
Yeah.
I'm curious what's down the direction we haven't gone.
This direction.
Yeah.
It's hard to say for sure, but as you peer down the cavern, you do see it narrow considerably, enough to fit perhaps one, maybe two more smaller people side by side. And you do see what appears to be from time to time, the reflection of these milky white gems. Or crystals, perhaps.
I would like to know, as much as Al would know, the status of the father. Is he in completely stable condition? Is it the sooner I get him to... the uncle. Thank you. The sooner I get him to the med center, the better. I mean, what is his condition?
Oh, roll me a diagnostic skill, medical diagnostics skill check, please.
Right.
Make it just a little bit harder. Make it harder by 5 because you don't have all your diagnostic equipment and, extenuating circumstances.
All right. Succeed. I rolled a 2. Jesus.
2 Jesus.
I rolled a 1, and and a 2. So
Okay. All right. It will take some time for the nanites that you injected into him to do their work to repair the damaged interior tissue. You have, with a diagnostic, you can determine one of two actions. One is to make him comfortable and don't have him move for the next 10 minutes or so, and and keep an eye on him as well, and let the treatment that you put onto him go to work. If that happens, then there's a good chance, although he'll be a little slow moving and still in some pain, for you to he'd be able to walk his own way out of here. Or you could bring him back to the ship. However, and if you bring him back to the Rhapsody, you'll be able to treat him almost immediately with your facilities. But it will be tricky moving him, frankly, and you have that ice to worry about. So, yeah, those are kind of your options. But to answer your initial question, he's mostly stable. Yeah, he's stable, but he shouldn't be moved unless in extreme circumstances.
got it.
Now
Okay.
that the danger is gone.
And then if I let the machines do their work, I mean, he won't be completely cured, like you said. He'll still need medical attention, but he'll be able to move on his own.
Exactly.
Okay.
The emergency treatment that these nanites were designed for will have taken full effect, and yeah, then can begin more longer term permanent treatment.
Okay. Then Al would, as soon as we are far enough away that we're sure this thing isn't following us, Al would say, we need to find somewhere safe quickly so that he can rest for about 10 minutes or so. Moving him right now is dangerous.
Well, you do know that you've traveled in these tunnels that were leading up to that wide kind of open lakey area. You were traveling in those tunnels for about approximately 10-15 minutes without coming across anybody. It's a little waterlogged in certain areas, but there are plenty of rocks or areas of the cavern that are not submerged to rest. You do know, however, your three possible directions. Staying still in these caverns are good. Back the way you came were those strange ice elementals. Where you just came from is probably not the best idea, and up ahead towards where those milky white crystals are is an unknown factor. But as for where you are right now, these caverns, these long stretching caverns, kind of illustrated by this photo, that kind of photo there, is relatively safe. There's nothing coming for you right now.
Let's just wait here for 10 minutes. It's only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably the safest place.
All right. So Al would put him down,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would say, "All right." So he'd let everyone know about 10 minutes for the things to do their job. And he looked at Tom. Can you still communicate with
No.
her?
Spell went away the second he went unconscious.
Okay, got
And
it.
in fact, Bunique is kind of sitting next to her uncle. She's talking to him. Her soft voice sounds reassuring, so you can imply what she's saying to her uncle. But the rest is she doesn't understand you, nor you her.
Al's trying to think of a way to communicate to her.
Well, if I may provide a suggestion.
Sure.
You do know that strange little ferry bot didn't speak to you natively of his own tongue. He was using some sort of translator in this kind of bubble he was in.
Oh, that's true. I think it's possible Al would have thought of that. Then Al would
I hope so. You interacted with the guy long enough.
Al
And it
would,
happened like 30 minutes ago in game.
Al would say, perhaps we could get our little fairy friend, or to let her know that somehow, if someone has a way to let her know that he should be okay if we can stay here for a little bit, and then get him back to the ship for full medical attention.
Okay. He's back at the entrance, so we'd have to go through the statues.
All right, you know what? It's too dangerous right now with him. How about we just assure as best we can for now?
Yeah.
It'll become pretty apparent itself.
Okay. So, the plan is just to wait here for 10 minutes, see how he does?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. 10 minutes or so passes. You do hear kind of like this dull, bubbling roar coming far, far to the southeast of your current position. But you don't hear any movement up the cavern way. Nor, since those of you who are not attending directly to Neela are keeping an eye out, you don't see anything else come out in that time. Sure enough, approximately 10 minutes later, during this time, Bunique is kind of a little bit confused, and she does say a few things in her own tongue, but she understands the communication barrier. So really, she just holds tight, for lack of a better word. Sure enough, after doing a follow-up check, Neela is now fully conscious, and it appears that although his ribs are still very much broken, all signs of any sort of interior bleeding has passed. He is now, we'll just say you shakily help him up to his feet, and he takes a few tentative steps. He can only move about a third of his regular walking speed, but both he and his niece look extremely relieved and grateful. And although you can't understand it, due to her, we'll say, body language and smile on her face, and the fact that she clasps you on your shoulder and says something very, very serious in her Inuit language, it implies that they are very thankful, and they're both able to get mobile now. So what next, my friends?
Well, yes, what indeed? We could start making our
Ellie
way
has
back.
Ellie has the other little spirit of light, imprisoned spirit of light, by the way.
Yeah.
Since she's the one who snatched it.
Does anyone happen to have any gloves?
No. Well,
wearing gloves.
Well, that's not going to help much. I left mine back there. I can continue to cast the spell on myself, I suppose, but I am...
Oh, but yeah, this is gloves to your
power armor.
Power armor. Yeah.
Yeah,
well.
Which actually I should ask, because the book didn't need to go into this much detail, so I guess it's your call. The vibro claws are attached to the bracers, I would say, I guess, of the power armor.
Uh-huh.
The gloves do not include the bracers, or do include the bracers?
Well, no, I wouldn't say so. The bracer bracer connects from the middle of the arm to the wrist, and the glove goes from the wrist to the fingertips, right? So,
right.
So I'm not gonna be a dick and say you left those behind too. No.
All right. So I would say I can continue to cast the spell if I need to, but I am running fairly low on energy. Perhaps
all the more reason to get back to the Rhapsody quickly, suggests Spare.
Al nods. I have, maybe 15 minutes left before I have to cast it again.
What do you
Alright.
think, Patrick? Should we head back?
Patrick turns to him. He seems to be in thought in most cases, or at least it seems like it. And then he speaks up. Yeah, I think that would be best.
Okay.
Okay. Excellent. Give me just 2 seconds. I guess I should have went to the washroom before the session started, but
Oh no,
Bad
that's
Inferno.
good. I need to too.
oh, well, there you go. The world's we played for 15 minutes. Now for a bathroom break. Be right back.
Great.
Fantastic. So in other news, Piph, how is that character creation coming along?
It's there's a stopgap now. Apparently you can actually definitely make an entire character, but getting on is a different story.
Yeah, I had that feeling.
So what does it mean when it says something along the lines of this world is not accepting any new characters?
Just that. It's not allowing new characters to be created because it's overpopulated.
So do I just wait, or
There is a certain time zone that it opens up.
okay?
I'll try and find the information for you for after the session.
Cool.
What?
Piph is doing the free trial of Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Final Fantasy 14. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
And I'm fairly soon going to get it for him.
Isn't that just the nicest thing? I know that sounded sarcastic, but I just couldn't word. I'm assuming Squee's not back.
No.
Squee is not back.
Is Lavin here? I mean Lavin. Spyro?
Yeah, I'm here.
Whatever name I can use on the interwebs that isn't your character and or real name. There we go.
Too many
Oh,
names.
Too many names, man. Too many names. That's okay. That's okay. Get you guys out of this meteor.
When I switched the armor to the Canadian or Tundra Ranger, whatever it was called,
It's Tundra Ranger. Yeah.
what was it called? What we laughed about?
It was Tundra Ranger armor, but I understand why you call it Canadian because there's a
Well, it
freaking
had-
maple leaf on it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I don't remember what I did with my old armor. Did I leave it there or did I bring it back?
I'm pretty sure
It's only 11 pounds.
you left it
I don't
there,
know how
but it's
bulky
with
it
the
is.
group, and the idea was that you were gonna take it all together with the group, right? So I'm assuming it was kind of left behind when you went back to the Rhapsody, but when you met back up with the group, you collected all your belongings in the little cavern that the ferry boat was in and ventured forth. So honestly, for the sake of the game, it doesn't matter.
Just assume you
So-
bought it. It's fine.
So you can either say you have it now, or you put it back on the ship after you did rescue Tom from almost plummeting to his death
Yeah.
into icy water.
Okay. I just
What-
wasn't sure if it was ever actually addressed.
I don't think so. It was 2 weeks ago, so
I'm fairly sure it wasn't addressed. But what we could do is we could say that because I did specify my set of gladiator body armor, I left with the ferryman. Yeah.
Ferryman who takes me across the river Styx.
Yes.
Dun.
I think we left a lot of our loot with him, because we were gonna go grab him before we went to the ship anyways. So
Did
could
we? That
say
seems
it's
like
there.
a terrible idea. I can guarantee Lavin would not have left his
then
anything
there you
of
go.
value with that guy.
There you go.
Oh, hang on a second. My daughter wants to say goodnight.
Okay.
I'm back.
Good
Good night,
night.
daughter. All right. Well, we just gotta wait for Spiral to come back to tuck the wee one in.
Mm-hmm.
I do need 3 monitors, or at least 2.
I wish. Oh, I wish I was a fish.
All right, I'm
I
back.
wish I hadn't killed that fish. Okay, welcome back. Everyone's back. Okay,
Welcome.
so you guys, now, because time might be of the essence before Al's hands freeze off, start heading back towards the Rhapsody, towards the entrance. You retrace your steps down past the illuminated cavern, up down into the large spiral pathways that go up and up and up and up, and close by to when you first came across and encountered and stood off against those ice elementals. Sure enough, I'm going to bring you all back towards that map. And I also should make you all a little bit bigger. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, efficiency.
Mhm.
As you weave your way back along kind of that turn to head back towards the Rhapsody, you do see the two ice elementals, these frozen statues, standing there. They are not weaved in and camouflaged in with the crystals around them. Instead, they stand quite boldly, quite clearly in front of you. They are not moving whatsoever, these massive creatures of frozen ice, frozen water. But they're not blocking your way either. Their deep, deep green eyes that shimmer deep within their icy craniums stare at you as you pass on by. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to just keep an eye on them.
Yeah,
Okay.
just slowly pass on by.
All right. Squee, Piph, you're fine with this plan?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my particular thing would be like try to be as natural as possible. No sudden moves, nothing that seems to be aggressive in any particular way.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Good to know. So, keeping a wary eye on these icy statues, you make your way, trying not to do any sudden or aggressive movements. Bunique is very protective of her uncle, and always makes sure she's positioned between the ice statues and him. And she casts perhaps the wariest of glances to these creatures, but she does not act apart from the group. And as you move past them, although their bodies, their feet, and their arms do not move, their heads follow you very carefully, and you can hear echoing in this large chamber the sound of ice scratching against ice as they peer towards you. But you manage to walk past them, and for those of you who cast careful glances behind them when they are behind you, you see they still stay perfectly still, watching you depart. With that, you are nearly back towards the entrance. This meteor that you were delving into finally opens up, and you can see you're now practically back on the surface of the meteor itself, back to the wide open area where you first hunted and killed that demon bear and assisted the Inuit in that. The stony stalagmites still rise up from it, as well are these large pillars large pillars of crystal glass, creating the light that's illuminating this entire expanse in blue light. And sure enough, although a little bit slower than it has to because of Neela's mobility, you get to the entrance. Now, 15 minutes has easily passed. In fact, this has been about 25 minutes. So you'll have to cast your spell at least once more there, Al. So you'll have to take off the PPE for that.
Got it. Doing it now.
Okay. With that, sure enough, true to his word, the strange ferry bot, hovering quite contentedly in his strange spherical vehicle, kind of clacks his little robotic hands together. And as he speaks and the words are translated outward, he says, I see you have returned, all in one piece. Now that we have met by this entrance, is it fair to assume that you are ready to leave?
I know Patrick is.
I am. Definitely.
I am very much so, yes.
Excellent. I am looking forward then to examining this, boarding. He kind of casts a wary glance over towards Lavin. Boarding this vessel of yours and getting out of this frozen tomb. Well then, lead on. He gestures with one robotic arm, and it appears that the Inuit are willing to leave as well, since they kind of lead the way. Neela carefully meandering the frozen, icy tunnel that breaches back to the surface.
As they're going, Al would say to the others, I want to know your thoughts. I would like to get, is it Nanook?
Nanook? No, Buni? Okay.
Buni.
It is. That's okay. I'll help you out.
Nanook of the north.
Yeah, see? Neela is the
Neela.
shaman, the
I'm gonna write this
uncle.
down.
And Bunik is the
Niece.
niece.
Okay. I don't know why I thought. Okay, I got it. I
Hey,
got it
you
written
know
down
what?
now.
You tried their name rather than just calling them the Inuit, so you get some pity points.
He would say, I would like to get. I would almost insist on getting Neela into the medical bay so that I can be sure there's no other damage and so that he can heal properly. And honestly, they were a great help getting these gems. I think they deserve to be there when we release their inhabitants. If they would like to.
How are you going to communicate that with them?
I'm sure we can figure out a way, get him to cast the spell again, or perhaps our little friend there can translate for us.
That would be great.
I mean, it's not like we couldn't drop them off once we're done.
He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who does things for free.
Well, we'll just have to ask. The most important point is, without my medical equipment, I can't be sure that that was the extent of the damage he received. He got hit hard enough to send him flying. That could cause any number of problems that I might have missed.
Yeah. If we could try and get communicate them onto the ship, I think I have something in my room that might help bridge this communication gap, this language barrier.
Oh?
Yeah. It's kind of like a techno-wizard universal translator.
Oh. That sounds remarkably useful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We
Is
need
this
to-
a small thing?
I wear it on my head.
Oh. Hence why you didn't bring it with you. No, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. But what does everyone else think about what I just said?
I'm completely cool with it.
They seem
Now, when
harmless
you
enough.
say inhabitants and showing them, are you referencing the beings of light?
Yes, I am.
Oh wait, what?
They helped rescue them, so I think they should be able to see them, to be able to experience them. I mean, wouldn't you want to meet your rescuer?
I don't know, they seem... Well, the beings of light might want to meet the Inuit, but the Inuit may not want to leave the north.
True,
That
but
is true.
if we can explain to them that we could just drop them off.
There's
It would
also
take-
there's also a question of I don't know what their religion is, and if this might make them question their religion, or might make them question their magical beliefs, or any kind of their beliefs.
Is that bad?
Yes.
Why? I don't understand. There's a difference between telling them that they're wrong and showing them something that might cause them to question things so that they come to a better understanding. I mean, isn't that what you would love the Coalition to do? To question their beliefs?
Because I know their culture.
Okay.
I don't know these guys' culture. I don't know Benik's and Neelak's culture at all. I don't know what kind of can of worms we would be opening. It's like if... Now, granted, I'm using this example as an actual thing that happened. It's as if we were to just go to Splin and see all the crazy shit that happened.
I'm with Al on this one. Like, fact is fact. It's up to them to reconcile with what they see with their religion.
Why don't we ask them?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, Inferno.
Yo, hey.
Now, I know as a player,
Uh-huh.
at least there's probably more than one deity, and I'm almost positive the beings of light isn't really too much of a religion thing, but...
No, they're no more religious thing than... Well, they're no more religious than, say, demons.
Yeah,
and
that's
those
what
are
my
very
thought
real,
was.
too.
Yeah.
So...
They're supernatural.
So, I wanted to know, just to make sure, does my character know about just that there, at least if these things are of a religious nature, that there is more than one religious nature to beings that exist within this?
Okay, I'm gonna just try to unpack that.
Yeah, like what?
So, let's just say if like, all right, we met angels, and somebody goes like, good lord, there's angels, that means my religion is fake. Well, then you can go, well, no, not really. Your religion can also be real, and this one can also be
It's not
real.
mutually exclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
point I'm trying to make is, like, these guys were going after a demon bear. I don't know if they worship, like, animal-type deities or whatnot, and then they encounter this and go, what the fuck is this?
No,
Like,
I
maybe
totally
we're
agree with
exposing
you.
them to too much.
I totally agree with you. I'm just saying Al as a character doesn't understand the problem with
Yeah.
that. But I as a player understand what you're saying.
Anyways, to answer Piff's question, you don't know really, unfortunately, anything about the Inuit, but you do know this, is in your study of cultures and anthropology throughout Rift's Earth, many belief systems were challenged when literal aliens and demons and other such things started pouring through these rifts. However, for some cultures, their religions or religious belief, philosophical beliefs were just strengthened with the new information. And you do know many religions that acknowledge the existence of supernatural creatures without it being necessarily contradictory to their own beliefs, unless their beliefs are there's no such thing as the supernatural. Then that can be challenged pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay. Which it doesn't seem like these people
Well,
have too
considering
much
they
of a
use
problem
magic
with it.
and talk about
And we're hunting a demonic bear.
We're hunting evil possession demons.
That's
they
totally not
might know
supernatural.
about this.
Fine. Do whatever.
Let me bring you. So I'm assuming you guys exit the tunnel as well and hit the Arctic air, right?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you do so, sure enough, you're met with the incredibly, impossibly bright, snowy landscape of this giant lake of ice that you're standing on. You do still see some of the cracks of the snow from previous takeoffs and landings that were tenuous at best.
Yeah.
The ferry bot is hovering near the entrance, the little green creature inside the vehicle, adjusting some dials and looking around and asking where your skyship is. Whereas the Inuit, Bunik, is kind of speaking softly with Nilok, and Nilok is answering in a low, confident tone. With that, Bunik kind of gestures with her chin towards the group as they emerged, and Nilok nods. And once again, he goes for his small leathered pouch, taking out these tiny bones resembling that of birds. He and his niece kind of gesture for all of you to kind of stay in one general location as he spreads these little bones along the stones in a semicircle in front of you in a crescent moon-like shape. Sure enough, the bones do glow, and once again you are in full communication. And Nilok is the first to say, "That was... Thank you, strangers, for saving my life. I do not know what it was that lay beneath there, but I thought I had gone over to the other side. But I am happy I am still here to see the end of my niece's blood hunt."
I think
For
it
everything
is-
that... Sorry, go ahead.
I think it is us who should be thanking you. You were helping us with our quest when you got injured. You did not need to go down there with us.
No,
You did.
but you did not need to assist us in the blood hunt. You have been very faithful companions during this entire encounter. But now it is time for me and my niece to return home.
How far a journey is it for you?
At this point, Bunik says it will be 5 weeks in total. 1 week on foot till we get to our sleds, where we left our sleds, and the other 4 weeks traveling across the landscape back home to our village.
I fear that your uncle may not be in a good condition for such a long and hard journey. May I suggest an alternative?
They nod.
Come with us. At the very least, long enough for me to properly care for your injuries and get you in better condition, and then perhaps we could take you to your village in
May I ask?
in a matter of hours instead of weeks.
The Inuit look to each other for a moment, exchanging a glance. And at this point, Nilok says to Bunik, to his niece, and he says, "This is your blood hunt. It is your decision in regards to that. Helpful stranger, walker of the sky, would I be able to move, in your assessment, for the next 12 hours?" The answer is yeah, no problem.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing yes, there'd be pain, but he could do it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
there'd
okay.
be pain, but it wouldn't do any long-term injury.
Right. Al would tell him as such.
Okay. He says, "You have your ways of your specific bombs and injections and examinations. We have our ways. I am a shaman of the village, and once I regain my magical strength, I can cast good magic upon myself, healing what is left inside my body that needs to be healed."
I see. Well, I certainly don't want to insult you by insisting that you then submit to my ways. It is, as you said, up to you.
It is not up to me, it is up to the person who took upon the blood hunt, as all eyes fall upon Bunique. She looks down at the snow reflectively for a few moments before she answers, her head slightly proud. My dear friends in both fight and exploration, I want to thank you for everything that you did, and welcoming us upon your sky ship, I imagine is a great honor. I imagine we would see great sights and have many tales to tell those back home. However, the blood hunt does not end with the vanquishing of a possessed animal, of the demon bear. It is completed when we journey back home. A part of the rite is for me to endure both the elements and the environment, and therefore to take your assistance and have us return to our village in your sky ship, although convenient, is not true to our ways. I would like to finish this like I started it, with me and my uncle returning to our village victorious.
I can definitely respect that.
All right, out of character. Burn, you knock him out first. Al, you take him onto the ship.
Okay,
Are we
look,
really abducting
there's-
people on
There's
the spaceship?
no, hold on. There's going to be a point, and I think it's this point, where we can't just meet an NPC and take them onto our ship and just leave.
No, you guys can try to reason with them, but no, they have their. This isn't
No.
just the GM saying, "I don't want any more people on the ship." Eventually, you're gonna run out of room, so I don't give a shit.
I consider that what you're saying too. Like, I kind of thought this might happen as it's part of their whole, like,
Right.
test of strength kind of thing, and it would be
Yeah.
cheating to just fly them home.
Yeah.
No, I completely understand. And don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting to pick up more NPCs. At the very most, I was thinking maybe they'd want to be there when we free them, and then we take them home. But I don't have any plans on keeping them. But no, makes perfect sense. And
Good.
So
Good.
Al would then say, "Well, then by all means, good luck to you and congratulations on your victory."
Hold for a moment, raises Bunique. Simply because we want to return to the blood hunt, finish our blood hunt by ourselves, does not mean we will end our gratitude here. For complete strangers of different walks of life, you have been respectful, helpful, and proven to be strong and able, and more importantly, clever warriors. Do you have, she pauses for a moment, looking for the word, a map, something that I could point out where our village is? I would like you, if you were ever in the area, to come visit, so I may hold a feast in your armor, in your honor, in
Not
your
wearing my armor.
inside. Yes, I'm gonna put cream corn inside your armor. No, no, in your honor. Of course, you are not compelled to do so, but it is a open invitation.
Does anyone have like a map on their pocket computer or something?
Uh,
Aware of.
I don't remember.
I remember a time where Patrick was trying to triangulate what's its face, Atlantis.
Yeah.
So you might actually
If
have
you have
a
a
world
personal
map.
computer, then you would have a geographical tool on it. Yes.
Oh,
shit.
snap! Then yeah.
I mean, coordinates would work too, even without a map. But I don't know if the Inuit know
The
coordinates.
Inuit will give you they'll give you landmarks, but they won't give you coordinates.
Damn it!
I think it would be best to use Patrick's though, because Patrick is the best at maintaining
The
knowledge.
Inuit's eyes glow blue. They start spitting numbers.
Oh my god, they're robots too!
Get with the 24th century or whatever we're in here.
Yeah, close. Anywho.
I will use my personnel computer.
Now this is going to be interesting. You're going to need to give me a land navigation check, Piph.
Yes.
And I need you to make it harder by 25. Because the Inuit, although they have maps, their maps don't look like yours. And this is going to be Bunique and you trying to like merge your information together so you come to a reference point that you both understand where you are. You know what I mean?
Yes. Let's see. 25.
Yeah.
So that would be this. Let's see if I get it. No.
Oh, okay. All right. So it takes some time and a little bit of bickering between Bunique and Neela about exactly where. But eventually, you do get to a point where she points it out. And actually, give me a moment, and I'll actually whisk you to the proper map. Maybe if I'm smart and can do this. There we go. And the village is, I'm going to put in a light blue here. Right here. And let me just put in the actual name too.
Are you on the
I don't
GM
see
layer?
anything.
Just give me a moment.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, it didn't stay. That's why. I was in the objects and tokens layer. Oh, I know why. It went behind the map. Give me a moment.
Oh.
Layer. 2 back. All right. Object and token layer. Let me just try this again. Sorry, this is so fun. I know. This is so
Yeah, I
incredibly
sympathize
fun.
100% because I've been there. So don't worry about it. You're good.
Oh God, that's not even it now. All right, there we go. You guys see a little cyan blue mark?
Jesus,
Yeah.
they walked from there?
Yes.
Do they have a boat or something? Or-
Jeez.
No, it is a long journey. They said it was far, far away, and they had to track this thing outside of season. So,
Oh, actually, yeah, I can see a way to get there on land. It's just wait, I can't.
No.
well,
Maybe
it's frozen.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
frozen.
ice.
Ice. They walked upon it. But regardless, give me just text. Oh my God, there we go.
I swear, if we come back in 6 weeks and find out that they died on the way home to snow squirrels or something, I'm going to be very sad.
Snow squirrels.
Maybe they'll die to packs of chattering teeth.
Maybe. Whoops. That's supposed to be an L. There we go. Equilit Village. There. And after some time, they are able to communicate where their village is. And once again, Bunique will invite you whenever you wish to come, whenever you choose to. You always will be welcomed into their village. Some of the folks are wary of outsiders, but after she returns and tells the others of what she has experienced, she is confident that they will see you the same way that her and her uncle view you. So with that, before they depart, the Inuit, more specifically Neela, gives kind of a parting prayer of good luck and good fortune on you, kind of a general blessing as a way of kind of finalizing your involvement with one another. As with that, he and his niece gather up their belongings, bundle themselves up, and begin their journey home. If there's anything else you want to say with them or say to them before they depart, feel free to.
Hope they have a safe trip.
Yeah, no, there might actually be something we're saying to them.
Sure, of course.
Al would say, as they get ready to go, he would say, I don't know if it would endanger you this far north, but just in case, there has been down south where we're from a great prophecy that something is coming to attempt to destroy all of us. I don't know if your people have received such a thing or are oblivious to it, or even if it, like I said, threatens you at all, but I would feel bad if I didn't at least warn you.
I see. They look to one another, and Nilok says, "You are a trusted individual, so no one from our village received portents. However, we did hear that the Beartooth tribe, far to the east of us, their wise woman, their shaman, their head medicine woman, received visions implying that the world was in crisis. The word has spread amongst us in the north, amongst the Inuit and the Tundra Rangers. We will make what preparations we can, but perhaps it is in the will of our God to save us. We do not know."
Al would nod. He would say, we don't have much information, but we do know whatever it is, it will be a swarm.
Bunique says with some cool confidence, "Well, if it is a swarm of insects, we have nothing to fear. They do not come this far north, at least in the wintertime."
Al would nod. Perhaps you are right. I hope so.
Okay. Any other parting words for your Inuit companions?
Only generalized goodbyes for Patrick and the
no problem.
good wishes and whatnot.
Yeah, they will return those goodbyes and well wishes and best of luck. Bunique being a little bit more handsy and almost insisting of clasping each person by the hand in a very rough gesture of thank you. But yeah, other than that, anyone else? No, okay. No problem. And with that, obviously, they don't zoom off. They begin to trudge their way along the ice. And you'll be able to see them for quite some time before you yourselves leave. So now here at the entrance to the Frozen Meteor, how do you guys want to board the Rhapsody? Do you want to call it down at your current location?
No.
You want to walk out a ways?
Yes, please.
We will walk in a different direction from where there was a giant fucking hole in the goddamn ice, please.
Where you almost fell through?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Okie dokie, artichokes.
I gotta get my bowl.
Yeah. Right. It's outside the. Oh yes. By the way, while you're saying your goodbyes and whatnot, the strange ferry bot doesn't seem very sentimental, or he has no idea who these people are, so he doesn't really care. And you see him kind of hovering around the Nazar, which is the name of Patrick's spherical vehicle.
Nazar.
Yeah. Right? I got that right, Piph?
I believe so. I'll have to double check.
Nazar or Nazir? Nazar, yeah, Nazar. That's how I spelt it.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, the Nazar, as he kind of He's not. He's a little blow torches and out or whatever. But he seems very fascinating. And as you, Patrick, as you head to your vehicle to get ready to board it, he does say with you, he says, there might be true potential yet in regards to what you can offer me. This is of masterwork quality for this particular location in the universe. I will even say that I am slightly impressed. Slightly. But impressed all the same.
I'll have. Oh. Patrick was about to say, I'll have to give the regards for the Smiths. But.
Yeah.
They are currently missing and pronounced dead.
Oh. Well, that's a shame. One small request. Perhaps I could board this vehicle with you as well. I'm curious to see how you operate it.
I wouldn't mind. It's a tad cramped, but
I
I
do
think
not
there's
take
enough
much space,
headspace.
he says. Yeah, that's his little orb is only like a foot in foot tall, foot wide, foot diameter, I guess you could say.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I and Neela would have to get in.
Yep. With him is okay, so you and Ellie are gonna go ahead and get in there, and yeah, he'll kind of be cramped in. He'll kind of be hovering up above. All right, so that's Ellie and Patrick and the ferry bot. The rest of you.
I have mystic power armor. I'm gonna fly.
You do. Okay. But
Um,
okay. Are you gonna fly from your current location? I guess Patrick's gonna fly from his current location. You guys did talk about walking a ways out. So who's actually gonna have foot on ground? Bear, really.
Me, until we're a good ways out, because I can't rely on magic to fly me. Oh, well, yeah, I can't rely on magic to fly me.
Yeah,
That's true.
I'm gonna go in a direction away from everybody for a few feet, and then I'm gonna fly.
Okay.
I just
Well,
love how
luckily
you're
with the
going across
mystic-
like miles of land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming you guys are gonna be okay. Let's just do with time. For walking speed with Bear and Al, how long do you want to walk away from the entrance to the frozen meteor before you call on the Rhapsody?
Well, how about this? I can cast one more Impervious to Cold before my personal PP mana reserve is drained. So how about as far as that'll get us?
So
Which
what's the
is
duration on that?
35 minutes.
You want to walk for 35 minutes on this frozen lake?
Well, my thoughts were being, unless Bear would advise against it, my thoughts being the further, we don't know how far those cracks ran, so the further from the cracks we are, the better.
Seems fine to me.
Bear would suggest that due to the weight of your armor, perhaps the sooner we get off the frozen ice, the better.
That's fine by me, too. So how about, like, a few hundred yards?
Okay. Works for me.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Then I would like... Al, go ahead and roll me a 1d20, please.
Got it.
Oh. Ah, nice, sweet. Okay. No.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. It's good. If you went out further, it would have been bad. But you only went a couple of 100 feet, so it's no big deal. So those of you who fly via jetpack or sphere or mystic freaking power armor, I'll kind of fly beside Al and Patrick. Sorry, Al and Bear. You walk a few hundred yards away from the entrance to the frozen meteor, and it's at that point that you call the Rhapsody to rendezvous on your location.
Yeah.
Sure.
Once everybody's airborne, that seems fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Rhapsody swoops on in. So how are you going to get... Do you want the Rhapsody to land, to hover 50 feet above the ground?
Hover.
How are you going to get Bear up there? Okay, hover.
I can carry bear. I can do that. I'll do superhuman strength,
Uh-huh.
and I'll carry him up. Fly.
Okay. Bear isn't used to being carried, except that one location when you were running from those giant bugs from Mars.
Yeah.
He was in your lap. But considering the circumstances, he won't argue. You do have superhuman strength, so that pretty much covers that. Okay. Al, roll me one last d20, please. Yay!
Ooh, consistent.
Excellent. So you engage your thrusters to fly up towards the Rhapsody, and thankfully the ice does not break underneath your feet. And all of you are able to, one by one, enter through one of the side airlocks and get back to the Rhapsody proper. As you're flying upwards, Patrick, you can hear like a small humming, buzzing noise coming from the ferry bot, and he doesn't have his translator on, but he's like shaking his head and like, I don't know, being super critical to you in his language. Like you can't tell if you like glance over your shoulder, you see him, he's like smirking and shaking his head, and it's like Gana Kana ha oh eh. Something like that. Like it makes he's somehow unimpressed with the way you're maneuvering this vehicle. Regardless, though, you are all brought aboard onto the Rhapsody, safe and sound. You all get outside of the airlock, in which you are greeted by Jalea and Yasmin and Basilisk and Ezex and Alicia, who is, well, no, not Alicia. Alicia's flying with McLaughlin. Blink. And Blink. Zoe and Marlis aren't there. And sure enough, when Patrick, when Patrick, I guess, disengages, or gets out of his little spherical vehicle, who would be the first to point it out? Oh, probably Ezex, because he's super rude. And he'll point over towards the ferry bot, and he says, "You picked up a new passenger."
Let's see. I guess Patrick will take this. Well, yes. I hope you're okay with this. It's part of a trade deal.
What kind of deal? Asks Yasmin, quirking a brow.
Well, he gave us valuable information and in fact helped us to get the final stone. And in exchange, he's going to take a look at a couple of set of armors and be dropped off over in Tolkien, hopefully. Around there, right, Patrick?
Alright, GM, was it Tolkien?
He didn't actually say where. He just said to the south.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
I figured it was Tolkien's. So that's...
there you go.
We were going to trade a few items, and his carrying capacity was limited, so this is part of the deal.
I see. Yasmin pauses for a moment. She says, "And you feel safe with this?"
He pauses for a second. I believe so. I think he. He like stops when he says he, and then he goes, "Yes, he." I'm unsure if he is. Shit. As a player, I lost track of where I went.
Okay.
Poop.
I remind you, you did see the little dude in his buff, so he did have
Yes.
the male parts. So he is completely applicable.
Yeah. So it'd be.
Oh, we lost Jared.
Oh no.
He'll come back.
See, I said it was part of the deal, and then
Welcome back.
Hello? Oh, but there, my
Hello.
mic stopped working. I was like trying to like say something. It's like, hey, it's not
Oh,
picking
were
anything
you?
up.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We weren't ignoring you.
Lavin wants to go over and like kind of nudge Ezex and whisper to him, hey, I don't trust this guy. You should keep your eye on him. The ferry.
Ezex kind of nods a little bit and he goes, "Yeah, he smells weird. I'll keep both eyes on him," says Ezek, like rumbling towards Lavin.
Good man.
She goes, well, he seems to be at least familiar or overly familiar with, I think, space travel. So I don't think he would try anything funny, especially since that would ruin his own transportation and carrying capacity.
Okay. But do you trust him? Asks Yasmin.
Well, he does have an odd quirk to examine through disassembly, but we've stressed this highly that he's not allowed to do that on the ship.
So, yes?
He seems to be completely understand this particular notion. And yes, I think that is fairly trustworthy. I'm unsure how else to tell a truth from a falsehood other than asking and seeing how they react.
Well, your ship, your rules. I just wanted to. She pauses and gives a bit of a shrug. Make sure everyone was of the same mind.
Yeah. We'll still keep an eye on him, but we trust him.
Speaking of, says the little fairy bot, where may will you prepare a workstation for me so I can begin my studies in earnest?
Patrick would nod and guide him towards his own personal workstation.
Okay. Like Patrick's own personal workstation?
I think there's a workstation like place in the Rhapsody. I think that's where Neela usually hangs out.
Sure, you have your you mean your botanical?
The Botanical Bay, yeah.
Yes, I think it's the Botanical Bay, yeah.
Okay. There is also a machine shop on the Behemoth, which is Patrick's studio place thing.
On the Behemoth, yes.
Yeah, on the Behemoth.
Okay. Yeah. Which is in the Rhapsody. It's like a Russian nesting doll of things. Okay. So on the Rhapsody, you take him to the botanical area, a safe place for him to do his research. The fairy bot looks around. He says, I have limited interest in botany. However, this will be suitable, I believe. I will be using my own tools, but if I require anything, I will let you know. I have to admit, it is nice to be in a place that is not a frozen meteor sunk halfway into a lake. However, my optimism has now been girded. You pilot your sphere very amateurishly, says the little fairy bot, as he kind of clicks his little metallic robotic hands. And this vessel is mundane, but it will serve its purpose. Feel free to, whenever you are ready, once you've done conversing with your companions who are skeptical of my presence, you may bring the first item in question, that either that gold set of magical armor, or perhaps the crystal one the other fellow was wearing. And I will begin my examinations. and then we can continue our exchange of information.
Patrick nods. He would pause. I am still interested in the previous information, though I would ask more about. Excuse me. I am very much an amateur at the vehicle. Very recently, I obtained it, and I would like to know what I could do better.
Well, we shall see, he says. Perhaps I will throw that in along with the other information I give you. You understand that I'm mostly of a culture of a bartering system. Nothing is really given for free. It is earned through an exchange.
Patrick nods. On a very, I would assume, smaller scale than yours, I have a very similar system back at home. I understand.
Good. Excellent. Then I will wait with anticipation, he says. With that, what would the rest of the folks like to do once you're back on the ship? We can switch this to a very narrative space too, by the way, as to what you guys want to do next. But what's up? Let me throw it back to you guys.
Lavin would want to collect the 3 rocks and set them on
Yes.
a table in his room and just sit and look at them and wait for the song to return.
For the song to return?
Yeah.
Well, you won't have to wait for very long. You grab the other few rocks from Alicia, who was keeping them safe in the cockpit, and you scurry them off to your room, setting them down on the table on the surface nearby. And as you sit and kind of look at them, they don't move, but once again, you do hear. At first, it's very, very, very faint. First, it's the underlying sound of drums. At first, you think it's something in the spaceship that's kind of thumping away. But sure enough, it's not outside that you can hear. It's inside your own mind, this soft, rhythmic thumping of drums. And then the light, beautiful sound of strings. More specifically, almost sounds like a harp or maybe a harpsichord playing on top. And then finally, adding into the melody itself is something that sounds like some sort of wind instrument, perhaps a flute, perhaps. Yeah. You've heard flautists before. It's kind of like a flute. And what's astounding is that it's not just random instrument noise. With all them together here now, it actually, all 3 come together, make a melody. Very sweet, powerful song. But even though you hear this playing in your mind, Lavin, you get this inkling that there's something missing to this tune. An instrument, or perhaps a voice that isn't playing as well. But as long as you are in your bedroom looking at those imprisoned stones, you, for lack of a better word, hear the music in your mind. In addition, for those of you, all of you, who were given that gift from Ambriel to instinctively know the location in which to go, has now dissipated. You no longer have that in your mind. Okay. Anything else, my friends?
Yeah, I think Al would be going to the medical bay and searching around for some form of blanket or something. Basically, like he has found a hole in his capabilities and he wants to fix it as soon as possible. Like he won't be able to stop thinking about it until he finds a solution.
Well, understandable. Let's just step back here for a moment, because we spoke before of natively on the Rhapsody, since it was made in space and there was, no wool or anything like that there. Most of the the sheets and whatnot that you have are kind of like some sort of plastic, very much like the clothes that you wore up there at the time, were kind of these plastic polymer creations. However, you haven't just come from space. You came back on Earth, and you did buy camping supplies, right?
That's true.
So winter camping supplies and everything like that. So I think it's fair to say that it wouldn't be in your medical bay, but would be in, I don't know, maybe the cargo bay or wherever you would have kept those tents and whatnot. And you would find several, probably about, I'd say 6 or so, thick wool blankets.
Okay, perfect. So he would find one of those and begin seeing how tightly he can roll it up, like how small of a space he can make it take up.
8 inches tall.
That's not horrible.
By 6 inches wide.
Okay. And then
Yep.
when he's done with that, he's going to. He's not an engineer. So Inferno, I don't know how far he'd be able to get on this, but he does know mathematics. Maybe he could figure out the dimensions or something. He wants to start on his spare time, coming up with some sort of method for carrying it on his power armor, and start thinking, again, he's going to have to get help for this eventually, but maybe in the concept phase, thinking of some form of tether for his gloves, quick release, something where if he takes them off, he won't lose them again. And like I said,
you will definitely need an engineer to help you out with that part. Figuring out how to carry the blanket, that's more of a trial and error thing, I guess. I guess you could crunch some numbers and try to figure things out. You know what I mean? Like high velocity and stuff like that. But it'd be better if you had physics, but I don't think you have physics. So that first one, that won't be too much of a problem to figure out going forward. But coming up with pretty much what you're doing is you want to engineer a new attachment onto power armor.
Right, and you're gonna
need someone much more technically minded than that. Unfortunately, you can't just fake your way through it.
And that's fine. And I'm fine with saying that for the next few hours or so or whatnot, it takes him to come to that conclusion.
Okay, great. Anybody else?
Patrick would want to find out where the stones are.
That's a good question. After dealing with the little ferry bot, you would probably go to where I don't know, maybe you'd ask Tom where the stones are, and he'd be like, "Oh, I saw Lavin, give them to Alicia." And then you go follow up with Alicia, and she says, "Oh, Lavin just came back a few minutes ago to collect them all together." I don't know where he went, but he's on the ship, obviously.
Now for the hunt for Lavin.
Okay. Well, you know what room he's staying in. So, do you go to his room?
I'll most likely go to the place where he likes to drink alcohol.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Actually, that's probably a good idea. He does like to drink alcohol in the, for lack of a better word, I guess you could say dining room or whatnot. Ezex and Basilisk have kind of made a small section of your kitchen, kind of like an impromptu bar. This has been ceremoniously marked by Ezex by throwing up on it last night. Luckily, it's been cleaned up by Jalea. Not happy about that. But you're in there, and surprisingly, the only people who are there are August and Zoe playing a round of cards. No Lavin, no Ezex, no Basilisk.
Have either of you seen Lavin?
No, says Zoe. We haven't, but we've heard that you're back. Did everything go all right?
Uh, he stops and thinks for a moment. There was a few. It was a long story. There was a very unfortunate event, but it looks like everyone came out all right. But all in all, it looks like we came out um, with more than we anticipated, so that's good.
Oh, that is good. She says, I see you're probably in a hurry to find Lavin, so we won't keep you, but I'm sure over dinner or in the next little while we'll get the full story. I'm glad everyone is safe and sound.
Yes.
Good, good, she says. Excellent.
I guess I would probably just check his room after that, since that's the
Okay.
only two places he can think of.
Sure. Lavin's door is closed currently, and you don't hear anything. Although, no, roll me a D100, Patrick. Oh, never mind.
Actually, could I don't think I'd even close the door.
Oh.
I don't think I would have
then
closed the door.
Well, then never mind. Well, no, not never mind. Patrick, on your way towards Lavin's room, when you get close to it, approximately 15 feet away before you round the corner into his open door, you hear like the sound of drums coming from that direction. And sure enough, you round the corner and you see Lavin there. I'm assuming he's like just sitting on his bed or relaxing on his bed or...
Yep.
Yeah. Sitting on his bed, staring at the 3 stones that he has on his dresser or something like that.
Yep.
Yep. That's what you see, Patrick.
Oh, good. I lost the connection with them. I was hoping nothing happened. I'm gonna do a small test just to make sure that these are the stones, and then what are you doing, by the way?
I guess Lavin would sort of start like as if out of a daze and what? Sorry, you're gonna test them?
Oh, yeah, small test to make sure that we didn't carry on some great evil or something like that.
Well, they seem part of a set. Can you hear the music? I had to get them together and hear the music again.
Oh, heard some drums. Do I
There's
still
more.
hear the drums?
I think
GM?
that was to you.
What?
Inferno.
Sorry, no, there was just the drums for now.
Okay, so
while
I
you're
still
talking.
hear them. Okay.
Yeah, you still do hear them.
So yeah, he would only mention the drums.
Yeah, well, that's one that, but there's more to it. I think that if we get them all together with Embryo, I can hear the whole song.
That makes sense.
But if you want to test them, I mean, I'm sure you're not going to damage them or anything. But just are you testing them here? Are you taking them somewhere, or what's the plan?
Nah, I could do it right here.
Go for it.
Patrick would do the general cursory of, hey, I would like to see aura and sense magic. The usual, just feeling out and seeing what I get back.
Okay, it is identical to when you did it on Embryo's little stone. And yeah, there's definitely something powerful within them, something that takes PPE energy, and you don't get any sense of any sort of mark of possession or supernatural evil.
Okay.
I'll make sure you spend the PPE, by the way.
Yes, I've been making sure that I keep close track of that.
And just give me a friendly reminder.
Any then says, well, looks like nothing here has been tainted in any way or a false stone, so I'll let you continue to guard the stones.
Lavin is spaced out.
Good talk.
I'm gonna go.
And you leave. Blink is happy to see Tom back.
Cool.
Other than that, though, anything else? Anything else in particular?
I am going to, because they've been piloting for the last little while, I'm going to relieve both Alicia and McLaughlin and pilot the ship for a while.
Okay. They are very appreciative. Excuse me.
Because they're clearly very tired.
They are very, very tired. They are so sleepy. McLaughlin is yawning, and they both are happy for the relief. They're going to enjoy that R&R. Where do you want to take the ship?
I guess start heading back.
Back towards that kind of that ley line nexus, that really peaceful, consecrated place?
Yeah, the sanctuary.
Excellent. All right. So, I'm assuming... Well, yeah, go ahead.
There is one thing. I would invite Blink to be my quote-unquote co-pilot for a bit and just outline what happened in the cave.
Oh, okay. Works for me. All right, so you fill her in. That's good. That's great. So, we're going to just make a fair assumption that it's the altitude and speed that you've been traveling through this entire time, right?
Yeah.
Great. No need to nitpick over that. So the journey will take flying, coursing through the air, a little over 3 hours or so. 2 hours into the flight. Let's see here.
I wanted to make sure that I get at least one of the two armors to the alien man.
Oh, okay. All right. Which armor?
Out of character, Burn, which one would you like first? And any other person can also chip in if you'd like.
Mystic Power Armor.
Mystic Power first. Got it.
Yep.
Anyone else?
That guy's not touching anything that belongs to me.
Well, it's not. Yeah, I mean that's fine. Neither of them are my armor, so.
Yeah.
All right, Mystic Power.
All right. So you after a few minutes, you get the Mystic Power armor from Tom. You bundle it all up. You head over to the workshop. Your Botanical Bay, and the ferry bot isn't there.
Patrick is going to, I guess, assort the bits on the floor.
Okay. Well, you sort them out. Look around the room. Don't really see them.
Did you give us? No, you didn't give us his name.
Nope. Not yet. That's going to cost you sweet, sweet info monies.
Still in here?
No response. Meanwhile,
okay.
Lavin, you're kind of zonked out a little bit. And so the first time your name is called, and the second time your name is called, and the third time your name is called, you get no response. Finally, Basilisk steps into your room and smacks you upside your head, and he goes, "Hey!"
Oh, what?
Sorry, you were zoned out, bud, but I thought I'd tell you. Ezex has been following that little floating thing, and he's wandering all over the ship. You said keep an eye on him, so I thought I'd let you know. I don't know, he might be up to something.
Okay. Can I carry all three of these stones?
Sure, they're not that big.
Yeah, okay. I'd grab up the stones and follow Basilisk to wherever he last saw Ezex, I guess.
All right, last time I saw Ezex, he was down by the hallways heading into the cargo area. Let's see if we can't meet up with him there. As you do so,
can I
go
try?
ahead.
I want to try to radio Patrick and say hey, Your little man seems to have gone astray.
Yeah, radio's working perfectly fine now on the Rhapsody.
Yeah, I went off to grab the armor for him to look at and... Wait, how do you know?
I'm here with Basilisk. He says he's followed him somewhere towards the cargo bay, I think. We're heading down there now to see what's going on.
Oh. I'll join you. As you hear a disconnect click.
Okay.
If I see Alicia on the way, I would like to pawn the stones off on her.
Okay. You do see Alicia on the way. In addition, on the way towards the cargo area, you do pass by Al, and on a separate location, Tom as well.
Oh, whichever one's first. Any of those three is fine. To pass the stone, or to ask, hey, can you watch these for a second? I'm just gonna go see
Sure.
what the.
Let's say you come across Tom first. Why not?
So in the cockpit, okay, Tom.
Oh wait, he's in the cockpit. God
Yeah,
damn
that seems
it!
unlikely.
Where is everybody? Oh my God, I'm sorry. I forgot
Al
Tom was in
wants
the
to go
cockpit.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. This is the DM trying to involve everyone. Sorry, you can't come across Tom. That makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry.
I could pass by Al's room, like he was working on his power.
No,
Yes.
yeah, actually, yeah, you'd see him sitting there staring intently at a rolled up blanket for some reason.
Wow, there's a lot of intense stares in there. Yes, okay. You pass by Al's room.
Hey, Al, I see you're really busy here. Mind watching these for a couple minutes?
What? Oh, sure. Why? What's wrong?
The little goblin guy ran away. We're gonna go find out what's going on.
All right. And as Al takes him, and goes, Lavin, don't hurt him unless it's absolutely necessary. All right.
Lavin draws his stun gun and looks at it and looks at Al.
Absolutely necessary, please.
All right.
He is a guest.
Hey, rude guests.
And
Anyway.
then Al thinks for a second and he goes, but if he is tearing the ship apart, stop him.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Patrick's coming down. He can
All right, I'll keep these safe.
manage the situation.
All right. So you rendezvous with Patrick. So Basilisk, Lavin, and Patrick all kind of meet in the hallway leading you to the cargo area, in which you meet Ezex, who is actually he's kind of sniffing at the air really intently, and he's kind of scratching his scroungy face. He looks, he goes, there you are. He goes, he's down there. He put on some sort of cloak or invisibility thing or whatever, but I can still smell him. Now I got backup. Now I think it's time that we confront this little sneaky thing.
Can I check on thermals to see if I can, detect him?
You engage your thermals, and you don't see anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I'm not showing him on any thermal readings. I don't remember if he showed up on them before. I can't remember if I checked.
Yeah, I don't think you checked. But Ezek says, that's no big surprise. Some of them supernatural type. Sometimes you can thermal them out. Sometimes you can't. Kind of a crapshoot. But the nose knows. All right, let's talk. More fucking ambushing and surprising and figuring this guy out.
All right, just so you know, Al requested we not hurt him. I'm sure Patrick's in agreement with that. Against my better judgment, but we'll go with the peaceful route for the time being.
Where's Patrick?
He's right by you.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you were with us.
Yeah, he said you all rendezvous together. Yeah.
Okay, so I am there.
Yep.
Great.
Ezex kind of nods a little bit in Basilisk, and he begins to lead the way. And he reached down to the hallway towards the cargo area, but this is when things get a little sneaky. So there is a hallway that you can head to the cargo bay, no problem. But at the end of the hallway, there is, for lack of a better word, what do you call it? A maintenance hatch. a maintenance hatch that is normally closed with a large metal grate that's easy enough to move open, and it allows you to get deeper into the Rhapsody to do maintenance upon its systems. There's a very, very perfectly carved sphere in the grate, enough to fit, I don't know, something that's exactly 1 foot in diameter. Ezex kind of gives a bit of a growl, and he points towards the maintenance area, and Basilisk moves over to push aside the grate that has a big hole on it, and now and with that, Ezex will get down on all fours and crawl through the maintenance hatch, gesturing for you all to follow.
So does this like go down, or is it on the floor and go horizontal?
Well, it's on the floor and it goes horizontal for
Okay.
now.
Okay. Lavin shakes his head and gives a deep sigh and follows him into the hatch.
Okay. Patrick, too?
Yep.
Okay. You follow him into the hatch, and sure enough, it does run horizontal for approximately 20 feet. Before then, there is now a ladder that can go both up and down. Ezex points downwards and goes to the ladder and begins leading everyone downwards. The maintenance hatch goes horizontal for another 30 feet. Before, and Patrick knows the Rhapsody much, much better than the rest of them, it is clear that you're heading through the maintenance way to the chief primary power generator. More specifically, the nuclear generator that runs all of the electricity on the ship. And sure enough, following down on there, following that maintenance hatch all the way down, you emerge to the generator room. Let me just try to illustrate this. The room itself is relatively compact, only spanning about 10 feet wide by about 8 feet long. And it's almost completely dominated by this single massive nuclear generator that's designed in an almost complete and utter big metallic sphere. There are a variety of instruments nearby, panels, computer equipment, whatnot, used to get readings and actually interact with the generator. And obviously, there's some emergency venting ports all over the room in case of a breach. In fact, Patrick knows that with a certain command, the entire floor can come out and the entire generator can be injected into space.
Mm-hmm.
Did he drop or something? That was a weird place to stop.
Yeah, that sounds like a very weird place to drop. I think he dropped. Looks like somebody used a very special command to launch him into space.
GM got it core ejected. He was overheating. We had to launch him.
The GM is currently elaborating on his love for Discord.
Okay.
Is he?
His deep, deep love for it.
Oh, yes.
I'm back.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So the core can be ejected into space.
Yeah, in case of a catastrophic breach. Regardless, this isn't the case. And as all of you enter the room, which is mostly alight by thick white fluorescent lights all around, you see a shimmering sphere kind of hovering around the generator, kind of spinning around it. And from time to time, I guess you could say reality distorts a little bit so you can kind of see this shimmer, but otherwise, that's that. Ezex points towards the shiver. He says, "Hey, you! We know you're here. What are you doing? Does anyone else say anything else on top of Ezex, or you're fine with that?
I think that was sufficient.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure enough, the little invisible distortion stops, and eventually it gives way, and suddenly popping right back into existence is, sure enough, the ferry bot. Little creature inside of it, little green creature inside of it goes, "Oh, there you are. I grew awfully bored and figured I would examine the systems in here. Mundane as it may be, I am relatively curious, and as you can see, I have not touched or tampered with it at all."
You cut a hole in the grate back there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, it was the most efficient way to get to this location.
Not if you include the fixing it part.
True. Fine. I will fix it. Although, I would be much more worried about using a horribly unoptimal energy system.
We haven't progressed entirely too much since the cataclysm.
Yes, well, I saw your vehicle, and I saw a great blend in both technology and mystical energies. I had hoped that your Rhapsody, your spacefaring vehicle, shared the same traits. It appears it does not, which is fascinating since there are a multitude of individuals upon this ship that draw upon that energy on a regular basis. He kind of blinks at you and he says, "I sometimes feel like I'm talking to a stone wall."
Lavin's looking at Patrick.
Patrick takes a deep breath in and exhales a bit. I am curious about many things, but beyond all, if this was a simple cursory glance and you're curious and wanted to go around the ship for more info,
yes,
why would you try to be invisible?
Oh, well, that was obvious. Many of your companions were not very impressed with me coming on board the ship. Therefore, I figured if I was out of sight, I wouldn't have to interact with them.
Not the best way to engender trust.
I'm not here for the sake of trust, he says. I'm here in exchange for information.
It's kind of short-sighted, don't you think? You think you might get more information and more cooperation if you develop some trust.
He gives a big, toothy smile. Perhaps, tall one. Or perhaps I can get more information by offering something of either even greater value. He hovers quite smugly a little bit, and he says, "In exchange, perhaps I can garner some of this trust." He pauses for a moment. "I have another proposition." "I am willing to do some conversions upon the energy, how you draw energy upon this ship. Create a dual engine purpose. Sorry, not dual engine, a dual power purpose. The big flaw, not only is this somewhat, not primitive, but somewhat inefficient means of energy, this nuclear fusion, it has no redundancies. Specifically, if it is to fail, then the entire ship fails. You have backup generators, I see here, that could propel this vessel for perhaps half a day or so, but by then you would be in serious trouble, especially if you were on a long-range space voyage. However, the one wonderful thing about magical energy is that it is in itself replicated by all living beings, which means if you are able to tap into that, you have a nearly limitless form of energy. I would be willing to install a extremely efficient magical engine. Sorry, not engine. Why do I keep saying engine? Magical generator to work in tandem with this, providing a great affluence of power that you could use and tap into to a multitude of reasons. And for this, I will do it for, he says, that crystal armor. I do not merely wish to examine it. I wish to take it entirely. I want to return home with it as a, for lack of a better word, treasure to return to my people.
I see. Would this be on top of the information we are gathering?
No, unfortunately, it would be a replacement. If you wish for the information, then you will also have to allow me to examine very thoroughly that golden armor and perhaps another few baubles here and there. He pauses for a moment as he hovers, as the silence grips. He says, Fine. I must admit, I have become incredibly jittery, squeamish, and restless. You have no idea how difficult it is to be trapped someplace, you doing very limited research. This is the highest technological thing I've come across in nearly a decade. I am eager to actually apply my knowledge and do something in exchange. Therefore, I will do this favor for half of the armor. The other half will be put towards information.
Before you continue this particular dabbling, I am fascinated by the magical engine, but sorry, power source.
See? I know.
But you did preference that with all magical beings have limitless magic. Does that mean you're going to attach a being to this
Oh
room
my
in
goodness,
some way?
no. And as a practitioner of magic that I know you are, you know that is not necessarily the case. One can transfer energy openly by channeling the proper techniques. The energy would be yours to put into it, or parking by some sort of ley line, or preferably a ley line nexus that could charge up the batteries very quickly.
Would this be a backup or necessary secondary energy source that we will need to
Constantly maintain?
Yes.
If you want to be optimal, it would be, one would say, a dual engine, in the sense that one doesn't work, the other one kicks in like it's nothing. So I suppose, unfortunately, he pauses for a moment. The terminology is the tricky thing. Backups only when you use it when something completely fails. This would be, yes, he says, it would be a backup.
So it would be a container of energy that would be used when we would want to utilize it.
Yes. Although I'm sure you'd be able to utilize it very poorly.
Patrick shrugs in agreement. And then he says, I see that you're anxious to at least work on a project. How about I will guide you through what you would like to see to make sure that nothing else gets. To make sure my friend here does not have to worry, as well as I do not have to worry about any other holes showing up in grates.
Mm-hmm.
And we can most optimally obtain a task for you if you're antsy.
In other words, you want to supervise me.
Oh, no. I'm almost positive I wouldn't be able to understand how you would do what you do. More of a make sure that whatever tasks you would like to do, you have all of your options.
Yes, fine, he says, waving a robotic hand. So I take it we do have a deal.
Yeah, Patrick paused for a moment. We'll definitely have to expand upon what questions will be answered before I make a solid deal, but I think this is something that I'm interested in, yes.
Good, he says. Now I suppose I should return to your room. I'm assuming you've brought something for me to examine?
Yes, the crystal armor you've been interested in.
Yeah, good. All right, and with that, he'll follow you all back to the botanical lab, for lack of a better word. All right. So you guys, the Rhapsody continues to course the journey down towards the kind of consecrated area. Sorry. I'm just trying to think if there anything else happens on the Rhapsody on the way down. Anything of note? Nope. Okay. Tom, you guide the Rhapsody. It is thankfully no missiles from on high, no dragons from below. It is a, for lack of a better word, a seamless journey back to this, for lack of a better word, consecrated ley line nexus.
Cool.
And once again, you find a suitable place to land, in which, in this kind of perfect, what's really not astounding, but very similar to when you ventured before, there was some inclement weather, some thunderstorms that are happening probably about 20 miles away from your destination point. But as you get closer and closer, it completely clears up, and the weather turns out to be absolute pristine as you land the Rhapsody onto the soft grass of this area. Let me just get y'all back into. Wait a second. Oh no!
You lost the picture?
It's archived. Stupid archive. And none of them are titled. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm sorry, but you guys, you're just going to have to hang out at the intro table, because I'm not spending 5 minutes figuring this out for you. Wait a second. I have the next best thing. I have, at the very least, the serene landscape. There we go. Now I just got to drag you on over. Oh, you're already over. Okay, never mind. Okay. The rolling hills and the babbling brook and the soft grasses of the ensuing land. So, is it fair to say that y'all disembark?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Are you wearing any armor?
Nah.
No.
No. Okay. No for Tom. No for Lavin. Patrick.
I'm definitely wearing armor.
Okay.
Patrick is going to continue to wear his golden armor as long as he can at this point.
Fair enough. Fair.
I should probably point out, though, it's just regular gladiator body armor because he
Okay.
has no gloves.
Gotcha. All right. You disembark along with Marlis and a few of the other NPCs. And although you do see the ley line in the distance, the light blue shimmer, it is about, say, about 4 o'clock in the late afternoon. You do not see Ambriel or anyone else at the moment. It is just a simple, soft, cool breeze hitting your face or armor. And that is that. What would you like to do?
Grab shovel, dig 3 holes.
You mean your silver spade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okie dokie. Where do you dig the 3 holes?
In like a triangle shape around from where the first hole was.
Oh, okay. And that's pretty
Gotta be
clear.
symmetrical or symmetric.
Symmetrical, yeah.
Symmetrical. All right, no worries. And where that other one was is very, very clear because that almost like anthill of earth when the stone emerged is still there. So you dig in a triangle around there. Okay. And as you place, Lavin, each of the stones into the earth and bury it again, you once again can feel these soft vibrations and a feeling of gratitude coming from these objects. Yeah. And now we play the waiting game. The waiting game is going to go by very quickly.
Oh, shoot.
What?
No, the waiting game usually doesn't get completed so quickly.
Well, no. Very
Question about the waiting game. STC comes back after 24 hours, or how does that work?
Oh, let me tell
Because
you.
I took a whole bunch of STC.
I know, bashing around that meteor. Yeah. Give me a moment. Recovering SDC. 2 seconds there, homie. There we go. Hit points in SDC. My character is hurt. Blah, blah, blah. Recovery. We're going to say you have professional treatment because you have Al and the medical bay there. So you regain 6 SDC points per day. So by the end of this, you can have yourself a good old-fashioned 18 extra SDC.
Okay.
It isn't going to go by super fast. There's a few things I want to touch on.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh, let me just check my notes. Okay. First and foremost, is the entire party fine with the ferry bot making or adding in a Techno Wizard engine?
I think so. I know.
Sorry, I keep saying engine when I mean freaking generator.
If I understand correctly, because I did miss the first part of it, it's a backup thing in case our
it's a
main one
backup.
fails.
I was trying to explain it as like a dual engine, a dual generator that kind of is a hybrid of each other, and I was going to use like a gas electric hybrid, engine in real life as an example, and I'm like, no, this is complicating things way too much. So yeah, it's a backup.
Okay, that's fine by me.
Okay. Great. Good. Okay, well, let's deal with that. Yeah.
We might be able to use it like what is that things that like freaking God, what was that movie? Fast and the Furious where they put on like nitro. That's what it is, nitro.
Yeah, like
Might be able to
afterburner.
use it like nitro. Unsure.
Maybe it's tricky because we have a very special kind of engine. I'm not entirely sure if that would actually speed it up or whatnot. But there are other things like
Okay.
remember that idea of sitting under on a ley line or at a nexus and getting a big enough hologram and disguising the ship. Could be
That'd
used
be
for
neat.
that.
Or just you could hook up some kind of weapons to it too that generates power,
true.
right? I
Yep.
mean, power's power.
Yeah.
Power's power, baby. Okay, so the ferry bot is working on that, and from time to time, when he wants to take a break on that, he is sure enough working on the mystic power armor. I guess we'll get to his. I guess we'll move. Oh my goodness! Sorry, I'm just trying to figure the best way to do this timeline. Because before I did day by day by day, but really I'm just doing the whole 3 months. There's 3 months, 3 days is a single.
It's a long wait.
Oh my god! It takes forever. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So at the end of 3 days, the ferry bot has begun his process of creating a new generator, although it's hasn't been completed yet. The trickiest thing is finding parts for it, because he has to constantly ask, is it okay if I take this or it takes that? And Patrick like sometimes says yes, sure, that's not important. Sometimes he has to say no because it's a critical part of the ship. And you have a feeling that the ferry bot knows that, but he doesn't care. But regardless, he is able to get everything that he does need after making sure everything is a-okay. And after examining the mystic power armor, he will glean one bit of information already from it, which is his name. His name is Aid, A-E-D, Wild Spec.
SPEC or SPECK?
S-P-E-K. Aid Wild Spec.
Like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Bingo. Yep. He will say that this was, and being able to take this and being able to do something for a change of pace is has definitely allowed him to make a proper introduction at that point. There will be more information forthcoming, obviously, but it will take a little bit longer. On the second night, the ley line is surprisingly active. It begins to tremble and kind of light up, almost like lightning was coursing through it. For approximately 2 hours at night. And you can sense, each of you, when you're camped out, either in or outside the Rhapsody, there's like an electricity in the air that causes like your gums to buzz and the hair on the back of your neck to go up high. It's almost like a crazy electrical storm is happening along this ley line. But thankfully, nothing actually emerges from a rift, nor does a great storm come on by. But that same buzzing is with you for about half a day. It's very unsettling. It's almost like you were shocked with an electric current, and you're still getting, your nerves are still getting that reverberal buzz off of it. However, as a strange after effect, I would like all of you who use PPE and ISP roll me a 1d50. Okay, now this is going to be weird. If
Yeah,
you
because
get,
there's no such thing as a 1d50.
well, you can roll whatever you want. You can see, I can make a 1d50. See, like that.
I know, I'm screwing around.
Okay. Oh, all right. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Then I'll just tell you what happened. This works. Okay. And you too, Tom. You use ISP. 18. Okay. So, okay. So, Al, you lose 13 PPE.
No.
Tom, you lose 18 PPE. Patrick, you gain 11 PPE.
Oh.
Real quick question. Would I have gained my PPE back over the course of time in between then
Over
and
those
now?
couple of days? Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Well, not all of it. Do you if you don't know the rate, I can help you out with that.
Didn't we have an increased regen rate for PPE though here?
Yes. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. I believe it was doubled. Give me
Okay.
just 2 seconds. I'm still on the healing SPC. SDC.
That is an actual thing, Spiral. A friend of mine has one of those.
What? What are we talking about?
50-sided
50-sided
die. It
die.
looks like a top.
Really?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat. Oh, for crying out.
Technically, 100-sided dice are a thing, but very inaccurate as a die,
Yeah.
basically.
But they're
Diff-
pretty
Oh.
accurate as like a baseball.
yeah.
Sir, I'm just trying to get the recovery rate here. I can never remember where they put it in the normal book.
Yeah, it's never where you would expect it to be. I remember that.
I think it's like, oh, I know where it is. Okay, it's probably in the magic section, like the beginning of the practitioners and magic section. Give me 2 seconds. It's like. There we go. The mystery of magic. Recovery of PPE. There we go. 5 points for every hour or rest of sleep. So it's 10 points per. Yep, 10 points
Unless
per
you
hour.
meditate, though, right? It's more if you meditate. I thought.
Yeah, it's meditating gives you 10. So if you double that, then that's 20 per hour.
Oh, got it. Okay, so plenty to get my full back. So I'll just subtract
Yes.
13 from. Got it. Thank you, sir.
From your total. Okay. All right. We good?
Yes.
Or do you need to know how much ISP you recover? Okay, and also in your notes or whatever, do me a favor. Can you write down the 5 per sleep, 10 per meditate for PPE? Put that on your character sheets or something, so we don't have to do this again.
I have it for ISP. I know how much.
Oh, look, everyone be like Burn.
There is no extra recovery for ISP here, is there? Or was that only for PPE, or did that also include ISP?
Oh, that's for ley lines. Oh,
That's
okay.
for ley lines.
Yep, ley line.
Okay.
Yep. Okie dokie. In addition, Lavin, during this time, I remember last time when you were kind of waking up Ambriel, you kind of just were sitting by the tree, hanging out by there for most of the time. Are you doing something similar?
Yep. I got my
Okay.
tent. I'm at the
Alright.
tree. I'm set.
Excellent. On the third day, the morning of the third day, when you wake up from your tent and you go outside to, I don't know, make some coffee or get some breakfast or something like that, on a middle branch of that single lone tree rests a large falcon perching there. It seems to be kind of cleaning its feathers, It's this big, beautiful brown falcon with white feather tips to it. It looks quite mature. Oh, not super mature, but it looks to be about a good, healthy 3 or 4 years old.
Okay. Since you said I'm getting up to cook breakfast,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I'm going to try to lure it over with bacon.
You automatically succeed. Everyone loves bacon. Just kidding. No, you have a falconer skill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll that and make it easier by 15 because you're using food. You're using flesh. Will this be raw bacon or are you going to cook it beforehand?
I think raw probably,
Yeah, sure.
because I'd probably saw it before I started cooking. I would think.
Yes, you did. You saw it right when you emerged from the tent. Yeah.
And animals tend to not be concerned about cooked or not.
Cooking food?
Yeah.
Only Homo sapiens.
All right. 0.
So you succeed.
Yes.
By
If a tie is a succeed, I'll take it.
Yep. Tie goes to the defender. No. Like failure means you have to be over. So you rolled your success. Just on the nose. That's great. So sure enough, you lay out some bacon for it to kind of lure it over, and it hops a few times on its branch, kind of peering over towards the food. And sure enough, it launches itself from the branch, swoops on by, grabs the bacon, and perches on the top of your tent and begins guzzling it down.
Okay. And I would use additional bacon, like I guess on my cybernetic arm to like lure him up to my shoulder. I suppose. I don't know how falconers would really do this. I'm winging it here.
Sure. Hey,
winging
it? No worries. I'm gonna roll with it, dude. It's more than 5.
Nice pun.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. But sure enough, step by step, gradually, the falcon does stay on your arm with first land on your arm. Its talons not digging into your flesh because it's a cybernetic arm, before creeping its way, eating bacon as it goes, to your shoulder. There it rests, quite content, its feathery belly filled with the flesh of pigs.
Sweet. Okay, out of character, I have a question because I don't know what anybody's capable of.
Uh-huh.
This thing needs a hood. I need a hood. I mean,
Okay.
how is that something? Any of you guys happen to be a seamstress? I mean,
You need to MacGyver up a hood. No problem. You know what?
I
This
can
could
make
be
a
good.
robotic helmet.
You know what's
but-
funny is Patrick could.
But here's the thing. This might be a good roleplay opportunity. Here you are with a falcon on your shoulder. You'd be like, guys, I want to keep this thing. Can someone help me get a hood before it flies away?
Yeah, well,
or before I give it all my bacon.
well, I know it's the reason you need the hood, because I did read a little bit, is that you if they get inside in closed spaces, they freak out.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is.
So I'm okay outside, but once I go in the ship or whatever, I'm gonna need to put something on its head so it doesn't, lose its
Fly
shit.
around and freak out and claw
Yeah.
everyone's eyes out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
Okay, so 11 presents this to the people around his area, like, yeah, I'm gonna need a hood. Any ideas?
I will design it.
Okay.
Make an art roll.
Tom draws a really nice picture of a hood.
Okay,
Well,
that's
do you
step
want it
one.
out of metal? Do you want it out of
I would think
should I do
something
a skill
clothy,
roll?
but I mean, as long as it's some kind of blinder. I think goggles would be impractical.
Oh my god!
But
although
funny.
it'd be adorable.
Yes.
Now I'm googling falcon wearing goggles.
All right. Well, Patrick, can you make something like this? I don't know what your skill set is. Use your big brain. Make solutions.
I am. I'm pretty good with armors and weapons. I've never really worked with cloth before.
Well, what about like have you ever worked with any kind of armor that's more supple, like not just solid steel, like almost like chain
Yeah,
or
you
some
see,
kind of microfiber?
yes, that's exactly what he's worked with. High impact microfiber ones for sure. Yeah, definitely. A lot of body armors are made of polyweave like that for
Oh
sure.
yeah, inner coating. For
We can
the
make 'em.
not
Oh, you mean the
basically a
thermal?
softer protective inside.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that would work.
I could probably fashion that into most of anything, I suppose. Though I probably would need your design, Tom.
Here you go. Should I roll?
No, it's okay. We're gonna say you succeed.
Can I make it look at least kind of like that picture you put? Because that's a really good picture.
Sure.
There. That's the picture stream. Look at it.
Look at it. Sir Beaky. Anywho. Okay. Who's going to we won't belabor this too much. But is Patrick gonna try to make something?
I suppose so. Out of the materials he's very familiar with,
Okay.
and generally, I had to know its general size.
Mm-hmm. Dimensions, well, you can easily measure that. That's no problem. You can estimate it using a mathematics skill. No problem.
And it doesn't have to be a super snug fit or anything. I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's just something to go over his head. Just a hood. All right. What was I gonna say? I guess we'll use. I'm just trying to think what skill. Unless you have a suggestion there, Piffy.
Anything that would usually do armor, which I would assume would be either weapons or mechanical.
Yeah, it actually is technically weapons engineer. So, yeah, okay, we'll do weapons engineer. I would like you to make it harder by 20, since this is unconventional. And which armor are you taking this from?
I could offer a chunk of my old Crusader armor
Crusader armor would work.
because I think it's pretty. I mean, it had no prowl bonus, so I'm assuming it's fairly supple.
It is
No prowl
actually.
penalty, I mean.
Yeah.
Can
It is.
do.
Okay, perfect. All right, and so your success, make it harder by 20. Your success will determine how much you're able to take out of it. A very great success will mean that the gladiator armor will be able to be easily repaired, and it won't cost you a whole lot. A very bad failure means the entire armor scrapped because you have to keep trying and trying and trying.
And if I roll a 1, I will make my perfect helmet.
Maybe. You rolled a 9 though.
Best
Nice,
falcon
good.
hood ever.
I love how we're making body armor for its head.
Kind of. Well,
man.
he's making a hood using MDC materials for its head, which is close. Which is pretty close.
Can I say that I basically made it like a small helmet that has like a visor that can go down and up?
You know what?
man.
With a success by 65, you're goddamn right you can.
Yay.
That's so great.
Yep. Now it takes you a few hours to make this, especially to your specifications. But luckily, Lavin rolled well for his falconer check, and there's still plenty of bacon. So that falcon has no interest in going anywhere else. Frankly, it's very content for the free grub and the human who gives it the free grub. Okay, all right. So soon
Should
enough,
I cut some MDC off my Crusader armor then, or?
Yeah, cut off 7 MDC.
Okay.
And
I'm assuming that's repairable damage, right? Like.
it is. Thanks to Patrick's success, it is repairable damage. Yes.
Sweet. Okay.
Okay. With that, Patrick presents a finely crafted hood / helmet with visor that is made of the supple microfiber weave of your gladiator armor. There, Lavin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming he'll hand
And
it on over to you. Mm-hmm.
I would, while feeding him one last bit of bacon, try and like slip it on his head and flick the visor up so he can see while we're outside.
Okay, all right. Roll me one more Falconer check. Once again, same bonuses because of bacon. Yeah, sweet. Good job. So, although it initially flinches at first when you try to put the hood on its head, you're able to give it enough space and time for it to adjust to the idea. And sure enough, you slip it on. And much like many other birds, once that visor's, that adorable little visor is put down, he super mellows out. He goes to sleep, kind of. That's what birds do, right? When it gets dark, they just assume it's night and they sleep.
I don't know.
I know general house birds, if you have a cage and put like a
blanket over it.
Blanket over it, they will go to sleep.
Yeah,
It simulates nighttime.
Either way, it the falcon definitely mellows out. Now, over the next little while, you'll actually have to train it, Lavin, in order for it to do more than just stick with you. But you have the beginnings of a pet falcon for you.
Sweet. Now I just got to think of a name.
Yeah.
I'll take a bit. I haven't thought
no
of
worries.
this.
There's no rush. No rush whatsoever. Anything else you guys would like to do or role play before the end of the third day?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay.
I could use a bathroom break before the end. I'll be right back.
Yeah. All right, let's have a bathroom break here real quick, and we'll continue on.
Sure.
That's super cool.
What's super cool? The helmet?
The helmet and the falcon.
Yeah.
Just love the fact that it has a visor that can come down.
Yeah. Hey man, it's riffs. This is actually so much more probable.
Yeah. Man, that's so cool.
Like, Patrick would not just make a hood. He would make things that he knows, like helmets.
Yep. True. Mm-hmm. That worked.
If you roll poorly, you're just like, I made cloth. I hope it fits his head. I honestly don't know how hoods are usually done.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Everyone's back?
Mm-hmm.
Squee? No, maybe not.
Oh.
Oh, see? Don't want to start without Squee. I just have to repeat everything. And then
I know that I have a interaction with Lavin.
Oh, perfect. I'll go ahead. We'll go into it now then.
Alright. Patrick will go over to Lavin, assuming that he still has a bird perched on his arm.
Yep.
He goes, this is after helmet, of course.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yep.
Right. He will then approach him and go, "Hey, I just realized I was too caught up in a project to really think this through, but why did you want me to make a hood for him or her?"
Oh, they tend to panic when they get indoors and misbehave, to put it mildly. So it helps keep them calm once we have to get back in the ship. I'll have to figure out a cage situation or something like this, or maybe just keep them in my room. I guess would work. I can clean up some bird shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a pet once, and Tom got very upset that I wanted. You might want to speak with him before you get everything settled with your little guy, big guy. Gosh, he's big.
Okay. I can go talk to Tom. Any, like, details?
Don't suggest your animal will eat his dog in any facet.
I think there's a pretty slim chance of a falcon eating a dog, but
No,
I'll...
I said that he would eat like dead skin, and he freaked out. Just be warned, okay?
Okay. Okay. I will go have a quick word with Tom.
Okay.
And then Lavin would go and have a quick word with Tom.
Okay.
Tom, are you okay with my bird?
What do you mean?
That's a good question. Well, Patrick said something about your dog, but he wasn't terribly specific. So I'm just,
Oh.
you know.
Yeah, Patrick used to have this slug.
Patrick would have a slug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her name was Mrs. Mams. Its name was Mrs.
Patrick
Mams.
would have a slug named Mrs. Mams.
Yeah. When he was describing what it ate, it was, he implied that maybe he doesn't know and maybe it might eat Hannibal. I was not the biggest fan of that because we didn't know what it ate. So, we just kept it in a different place. That was it.
Okay. Well, you have my assurances that there's a very good chance my bird will not try to eat your dog. Just,
I
throw
think
that
it
out
would
there.
be very hard if it tried.
Yeah. All right. As long as we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You back, Squee?
You're muted, Squee, if you are.
Squee, you're muted.
We're not here. Or both.
What have you done?
Oh, what's going on?
I just put Squee.
Oh. I thought that was.
What have you done?
No, I really don't want to continue with that one because.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no,
That's that would be uncool.
So I'm thinking of how to train a bird. Like, you just set up a little dummy and put a piece of bacon on its head, pull the hood off, and point at it, so that it goes and
I'll
attacks
have
the
to do
head.
some more research. Is that what you want to do to attack people's heads?
That's
With falcon?
the rule book is explicit, and that's basically what it does. You can't have it do smart things. It's like it says, quote unquote, it's still just a dumb bird. Basically attacks things.
I love you, Palladium. I love you so. Birds aren't really smart creatures.
I know.
No, they're not. No, they're not. And it's not going to go fetch things for you or stuff. It's there to go attack something. I don't even know if you could maybe deliver a message to use falcons for that. I don't think so.
I don't know. I have to look into what falconry does because I think what you can do in real life falconry, let's see here. Oh my God, there's so much. Yeah, I think maybe they use them for hunting.
Oh yeah, no. Delivering messages is pigeons, not falcons.
Yeah,
that's pigeons.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that's all they can do. Like when I read it, it was like, yeah, this is attacks things that does STC damage.
You can always do more research.
Yeah.
Must build additional research.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, you can train an owl.
Owls kill people. There's like reports of owls like.
Really?
Owls are fucking vicious and smart as hell.
Yeah.
Have you seen the talons of an owl?
Yeah.
They're
big.
insanely
Owls
huge.
are big. Yeah, it's funny. My wife's like got owls all over the kids' room and thinks owls are all cute and shit because she's watched too much Harry Potter. But it's like, yeah, owls kill people. Like they're not they're not cool at all, man. You don't want to screw around with owls. But I guess teddy bears and things too, right?
I've seen
Yeah,
videos of
exactly.
I've
Don't
seen
want to mess around with bears either.
I've seen videos of owls just taking full-grown cats and leaving.
Yeah, I think there's some video online of an owl picking up like a baby or something.
I think that was proven to be fake.
Welcome
Oh,
back,
there's
Squee.
Squee.
Hi.
Good.
Sorry, I just have to paraphrase something.
Oh my god, that's a huge fucking eagle. So yeah, you're absolutely right. They are actually used primarily in hunting, specifically hunting other birds. Apparently, it's so much easier than hunting them like with dogs and stuff because they'll flush them out, they'll chase them down, they'll do all sorts of stuff. So yeah, they'll lure it and all sorts of stuff.
They'll do
Because my thought is
99% of the work.
you could have it like try and disarm somebody. Take
Cool.
the gun and knock the gun out of their hand.
That's
things like that.
sick.
I had in mind.
Yeah, that works for me. I like that.
No, the bird has MDC helmet.
Or possibly
before we get back
claw their eyes out.
in game, yes, eye clawing. You should name it. You should name it Al and have it go for the eyes.
I get it.
Do you prefer male bird or female bird? Because you want to name it, so I'll leave it up to you.
Let me think about it. Can that
Okay.
remain undecided at the moment?
Yeah, sure. We don't look underneath
I haven't
the tail
checked.
yet.
I know what we can do. We will reveal at the next session.
Yeah,
Stay
that's right.
tuned. That's our quote-unquote
we're not
cliffhanger.
done.
We're not
That's
done.
gonna be our cliffhanger. What's the bird's name?
Will
Okay,
it be a male or a female? Who knows?
know what? Enough cliffhangers or anything like that. Let's get down to the good points part. So after just a few moments before 4:00 on the third day after in the same space, the triangles around the triangle. I can't do words today. Formation. Thank you. The triangular formation. Lavin dug these 3 black stones into. All of you nearby would feel the earth rumble underneath you. When embryo was freed from their cage, the tremors were significant, but this is almost earth-shaking. The tremors of perhaps a 2-point or 3-point scale earthquake, the equivalent. The grass tremors as 3 massive clumps of dirt, like anthills forming, begin to plunge up from the earth. These black coal-like stones are at the tip of this anthill. And inside each and every single one of them, a bright, white-hot light begins to break from the crust of the stone itself. Similar as to last time, Tom, you can sense your sense heat and fire clicks in, and something very, very, very hot is coming and emerging from those stones. And soon each and every single of the 3 stones begins to crack like an egg shattering, and perfect, pure gems emerge. One of them, a sparkling, deep yellow citrine color. The other, a bright ruby. And the third, a gem of the deepest and darkest green that you've seen. And from the very tips of those gems begins to escape these wispy clouds, these shimmering shapes in the afternoon light. Far, far in the distance, overtop the rolling hills, you begin to hear the sounds of chiming bells. Except it isn't across the hills, it's towards you, but you see a glimmer of light, a shining beacon of light cross over the hills and zoom towards you at an amazing speed. This bright, pure white light begins to circle around the tree, and the lights, the forms, the mists that come from these three independent gems begin to swirl and dance with that perfect white light. A green light, a yellow citrine light, a dark red light, all twirling around. Lavin, before, when the three stones were in front of you, and you heard that melody of the drums and the harp and the flute. Well, now the bells begin to chime in, and it's not just you, it's all of you. You hear this beautiful swell of music, an orchestra of 4 independent instruments playing in sync. The song speaks to your very core, and it uplifts you and encourages you. It inspires you, and it leaves your body numb with awe. That white light takes the shape of Ambriel. Once again, individually different to each of you, but that young cherub-like creature, a child of 3 to 4 years old, ruddy face, beautiful sprawling feathered wings, and eyes of yellow flame. But 3 more forms begin to emerge along with Ambriel. The first is a form much taller and thinner than that little cherub. A delicately built individual resembling a gorgeous young woman. To each of you, her features are completely different, but she appears to be in her late teens or early 20s. She has these expansive silver wings made of the tiniest light feathers, and her eyes are dark as black. And as you look at them, there are sparkling red flecks like embers in the night swirling amongst those dark eyes. She is clad in beautiful Spartan-styled armor, golden, glistening.
Oh, what a bad time to drop out.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I don't know what I can do on my end to improve it.
It's not, and it always happens at this specific time. I think it's
Damn
something
it!
in his area.
Hello?
Okay,
Hey,
Spartan
Inferno.
armor, golden.
Okay, I will continue. I don't know what's going on. It has to be Discord because I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This beautiful, pure golden Spartan armor and the long draped, like almost a toga over top of it, is this deep red silk covering her from shoulder to to her to just above the knee. The second form is taller than the delicately built golden armored woman. This appears as a very tall, muscular, powerfully built male with his skin as gold as the armor of the other spirit of light. His wings are also of a pure, perfect white gold, and his eyes are like they were carved of pure amber stone themselves. He too wears armor, but this is of a completely different style, one more resembling a medieval knight. And although he wears no helmet, from his neck down to his greaves, it is made of a pure silver, so perfectly polished you can see your own reflections in it. The feature of the male's face, who has this dark brown chestnut hair, resembles that, once again, individually, perhaps of someone that you know, of an older gentleman, perhaps in his 30s or his 40s or so, a stern, square face. Finally, the fourth figure is, oh, give me a moment, has the largest stature out of all of them, towering at least 7 feet tall. This is another male body type. Wide shoulders, bronze skin, where you can see the definition of each and every single muscle. They're wearing what appears to be a simple flowing blue tunic and trousers, but the fabric is like something that was made of water in a sense, because as the wind blows against it, it ripples perfectly outwards. And their eyes are 2 perfect pearls, no pupils inset into their eyes. And unlike all the other 3, this individual has no wings. Ambriel chimes out a happy, boisterous, childlike laugh and says, "My brothers, my sisters, you have returned. Finally, your songs are with me again. My champions brought you back as I hoped they would. Please, I think proper introductions are needed." Ambriel, which is they're just all smiles, and you can feel the happiness radiance comes from it as they descend onto the ground, while these other 3 forms also descend towards the ground before each of you. Right next to Ambriel is the silver-winged female form, the delicately built individual with armor of gold and red color. In her deep eyes with red specks, you can feel just an impressive power within her, a force of true nature and element. And to you, Tom, in particular, you sense some sort of very distant but kindred connection, similar to that of when you interacted at first with the fire elementals, when you encountered Ver. In a similar sense that way. She speaks in a light voice, but extremely firm, as she says, "I am Mir. Thank you for freeing me from my bondage. You truly are great mortals." Next to her, the muscular male with gold skin and gold feathered wings says in a tone so deep I can't do it justice, but it is soft and velvety, as he says, "I am Erithal. I sensed your strength when you came for us. We have been calling out, and I am glad to see our messages fell upon willing ears. Finally, the wingless spirit of light, the extremely tall one, over 7 feet tall, with bronze skin and its eyes of complete pearl, steps towards each and every single one of you, and like a general examining their troops, walks by perpendicular to each of you as he says, "And I am Cassiel. I sense conflict, flaw, and a history amongst each and every one of you. But your actions have purified you, and I too am grateful." Before I continue on with the spirits of light, would you guys like to say or do anything?
Can you just briefly repeat the woman's name? I didn't catch it.
Sure, Mir. Mihr.
Thanks.
No problem. Ambriel, Mir, Erithal, and Cassiel.
I would think Lavin's mostly dumbstruck and is just kind of staring like an idiot.
Same here.
Okay, it's understandable. Ambriel gives a joyous laugh, a laugh sounding like several silvered bells playing in the distance. And he says, "I have explained to them, to each of them, what has happened to us, and they were the first to free me. I have made them my champions, because I sensed within them a goodness, a purity. Although you are right, Cassio, they are flawed, they are not perfect, but they are mortal. And the best thing about mortals," and then Erithal, the golden-skinned male, says, "is that they can change for the better." Yes, exactly. They sure can. They have taken my role as champion as very seriously, as you can tell with your presence. The silver-winged female says, "Their sacrifice must be rewarded." And all the spirits of light nod in agreement. Cassiel, the wingless angel, says, "But perhaps that might be a blessing from each of us could be given as thanks. But Ambryo, if you made them your champions, perhaps they should be ours as well." Erithal nods. "We all know what is doomed for this planet, what needs to be done to prevent its destruction. Do you think they could assist?" Ambriel says with a smile, "I know they can. I had already thought the exact same thing. We will give them another quest, one that is so important that I cannot imagine them not accepting." Mir looks to each of you, and she says, "There are great evils coming to befall your planet, to consume, destroy, and break it. Now that you have this knowledge, what do you plan on doing about it?"
Well, we've already known this. We did intend to do whatever we could to combat it. Obviously, who wouldn't?
We just didn't know where to start.
I see. She says with a bit of a smile, "Anything you can do. I can sense within your spirit that is true, and your willingness to sacrifice shows a noble core." She looks towards the rest, and they all are nodding in agreement. Erithal, the golden-skinned Spirit of Light, says, there are many who will fumble against the devourer, many who will try to face it in open battle, and many of them will perish. However, there may be another way. All foes, especially those of evil intent, have weaknesses, are short-sighted. They have flaws that can be exploited. Cassio, the wingless angel, continues. Although what is to come, the devourer, isn't known intimately by us, we do know of beings who are knowledgeable of such creatures. However, they are reclusive, and they wander from dimension to dimension. They will have to be found and spoken to, and perhaps they will give upon the secrets of the devourer, identify exactly whom they are, and how they can be defeated. Then Mir, the silver-angeled female spirit of light, says, it is then, armed with that knowledge, you can return to your planet, spread it, and fight properly. What do you say to this challenge?
I would accept.
How could we refuse?
Easily, says Ambryo in their sweet voice. What we ask, we ask. We do not coerce or demand. A mortal's free will is one of the most precious things in the world, but it delights my ears that you accept so readily, regardless of the hardships that might befall you. Much like you accepted my quest to assist my brothers and sisters, the reason why they're here now, they can go home now. Erithal then says, oh no, go ahead.
I would love to do nothing but accept, but we have no means of this transportation to find the... Did you say other realms?
Yes, other dimensions, other realities. But do not be afraid, for we will combine our powers together and open up to you a doorway, and Erithal will gesture towards the ley line nexus, towards where they were last seen. There you may continue to trace their steps and locate them.
Well, just so we know how to prepare, are you gonna send our entire ship or just a few of us there, or how?
Cassio says, the journey may be long, and you will require as many resources as you can. Therefore, the portal will be certainly wide enough to open for your entire ship and whomever else is willing to join you on your quest to accompany you. In addition, go ahead.
We do currently have an extra traveler with us. Would some time be allotted for travel and drop off of...
Ambriel nods and dances around you, although time is of the essence in the fact that we are eager to return back home. We can certainly wait a small while for you to make proper preparations. You would only need to return here, tell us you are ready, and then we will open the portal.
Patrick starts nodding more and more. Yes, I would. Yes, we shall put a lot of thought into preparation and try to get back here as soon as we have everything sorted.
Mir nods.
I'm sorry if I'm speaking for anyone else.
That's fine. Mir looks towards Tom.
Yeah. I mean, what am I going to do? Say no?
Of course. Of course, no is always an option. Sometimes
No, it's not.
some of the bravest answers are no.
It's not an option when it comes to saving the world.
You do have a point. I just want to make sure you're not coerced or pressured into it.
No, I'm willing to do this.
Good. Mir then continues, these realms that these wanderers venture through are permeated deeply with magic. Your world has recently had an awakening of ley line energy, but it is nothing compared to these realms. It is thought that these wanderers, these travelers, these ones who know the secrets of the devourer, purposely find areas permeated with such magic, perhaps to hide, or perhaps it is for them to draw on. Regardless, when you enter these realms, these dimensions, there may be changes. Something as superficial as an illusionary spell cast over your armor to resemble something more fitting for the period. Or perhaps it will be something much more dramatic, a temporary polymorphy put upon you or your belongings as you travel in those areas. Magic is an extremely powerful force, but in those dimensions, magic itself does bend to certain rules, and I can assure you, your physical health will not be harmed by entering through it. Cassiel says, now, brave mortals, champions of Ambriel, champions of a spirit of light, please, step forward underneath this tree, where me, my brother, and my sister will make you our champions as well.
Lavin steps up right away.
Okay.
Al's a little more hesitant, but he follows Lavin.
Okay.
Patrick steps forward when he stops stammering over what he's going to say or do and joins the others.
So, first steps towards Erethal. That is the being of golden skin, golden armor. Silver, the full silver knight-like armor, and the golden wings. And when he speaks, it's like the powerful songs of a harp being played. He gestures to each of you standing underneath the tree, and he grabs a clump of dirt from the ground and puts it up into his hand. And he breathes upon it, and that bit of earth turns into these small, tiny, dark brown seeds. And cupped in one hand, he steps over towards Lavin, plucking up one of these small brown seeds in his hand, and he says, Lavin, will you be my champion?
Absolutely.
And he'll say, open your mouth.
Open my mouth.
And he places the seed. He places the seed upon your tongue, and he says, swallow.
Down the hatch.
And down the hatch, it feels like it's absolutely, as you swallow it, it's like a small, like, nutty taste to it, but otherwise it goes down the hatch, no problem. The after effects I will explain once everyone gets their seed. He steps over towards Patrick. Patrick Kinsman, will you be my champion?
Yes.
Good. Once again, do you accept the seed?
I accept his seed.
On to...
Dirty! Dirty, dirty, dirty!
He places it upon your tongue and you swallow it. Don't be an ass. There's a symbology to this and not the way you think. Just fucking whatever. He steps over towards Al in a deep voice. And he says, wait, Jordan, will you be my champion?
Yes.
Okay. Once again, the small brown nut-like seed is placed upon your tongue, and I assume you swallow it?
Yes.
Excellent. And he steps over towards Tom, and he says, Thomas, will you be my champion?
Absolutely.
Excellent. And once again, same procedure. Brown seed on your tongue. Do you swallow it?
Yes.
Okay, and as each of you swallow the seed that he placed upon your lips, you feel it go down. You can feel it travel down your esophagus, and then land in your stomach. And it's almost like it's made, the seed has turned into a rock. You can feel it at the core of your stomach. It's not uncomfortable, though, as one might think. It's encouraging. It's something that's been added to you, strengthening you. That stone is slowly becoming a part of you. And Erithal says in his very deep bass voice, he says, for as long as you travel upon your quest and onwards, in the time of crisis, in the time of need, invoke these words. Protect me now in my time of need, and my gift, my blessing I give to you, my champions, will take into effect immediately. Your wounds will be healed, your resolve strengthened. Out of character, this is a one-time only thing. However, if you say the words, protect me now in my time of need, it will instantaneously heal all SDC damage you have sustained.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a one-time only thing, but it's an instant heal. Okay?
Mhm.
So, with that, Erithal finishes his blessing and he steps forward. And Mir says, and on that's the silver-winged individual in their golden armor and red trappings. And she says, I have no specific ritual for you, my champions, for at least your bodies. Go and fetch me your most proud weapon, the one you depend on the most, the one you will use to battle evil and vanquish your foes if necessary, and return to me. So everyone pick a weapon. One weapon, any weapon, and let me know what you choose. And the first one that chooses, let me know, and I'll start the ritual.
Oh, that's
My
a
vibro
toughie.
blade.
Yeah.
Dude.
Especially
My
since
vibro
you
blade.
fight
I'm
with
ready.
paired weapons, that's really difficult.
I've got mine.
Am I coming through? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming through.
Yeah.
I know you're picking.
Okay.
You're picking your vibro blade, vibro
Yeah.
weapon. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me 2
Yeah,
seconds. I
Nazar.
gotta just turn on my light in my room.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a hunting rifle or
All right. Once again, I won't
shotgun.
tell you the effect until everyone gets their weapons ritualized, but I will speak in the roleplay. So,
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Piph had a question for us.
all right.
So Patrick has two weapons that he basically has had for most of his life and treasured beyond most of his other weapons is his hunting rifle and his shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
Unsure which one is more of his favorite. I know during the story the shotgun has been used more.
Yeah.
And I do remember the first time I played, at least in the non-existent role-playing thing, he did use his shotgun as well.
Yeah. When I think about Patrick, I think of him and his shotgun, honestly.
Okay. So I think I'll do shotgun. As much as I think you would enjoy his hunting rifle, I think your shotgun may just top that a little bit more.
Squee, are you choosing what I think you're choosing?
I don't know.
He doesn't know what he's choosing.
I think I know what I'm choosing, but I don't know if it's what you're thinking.
Sharp.
Yeah, that's what I'm choosing.
I figured.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to choose my black light blade.
Okay, great. So with that, I'll go one at a time in the order. So, Lavin will be the first to step towards Mir, and he'll have his vibroblade in hand. And Mir will extend both her pale palms upward and nod for him to rest the blade upon her hands.
I do so.
And she says, Lavin, will you be my champion?
Yes.
Good. A true warrior knows when to strike and when to yield their blade. May that wisdom be granted unto you, mortal, and serve me well. And with that, the amber flecks in her dark eyes begin to brighten, until her dark eyes, those red specks, make her eye completely engulf her eyes. And for a moment, you're looking into pure red flame. Her hair turns alight, on fire as well, and the fire courses down her arms into her palms and begins to cover your vibroblade in pure hot flame. You can see it shivering and shimmering underneath of it. And when the flames eventually die down, the vibroblade is returned onto you. The hilt is perpetually warm to the touch, but warm and inviting warmth.
Well, hang on a second. So
Yeah.
just for clear, there's no hilt. I mean, we're talking about the one in my arm, right?
Oh, in your arm?
Yeah, like
Oh.
this, the one in my cybernetic arm.
Oh. Okay. Well, your arm is warm to the touch.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. Okay, yeah.
Sure. And the fire doesn't go down your entire arm into you. It stops at the blade.
Okay, yeah.
In your cybernetic arm. Okay, all right, that's okay. Your cybernetic arm is warm to the touch, which is astounding because you don't have human nerves in there anymore. You have electronic nerves, but the very fact that this is affecting that is even more so. More importantly, the vibroblade itself, those same little red specks that are in the dark eyes, now are red specks along the blade of that vibroblade. It's just once in a while, a few small ember-like specks kind of course through it perpetually. Who was next? It was Tom it was Patrick with his shotgun that was next who decided. Okay. Patrick, Mir gestures for you to come on over. She has her palms open for you to rest your shotgun upon it.
Patrick will do exactly that.
She closes her eyes a little bit. She says, Patrick Kinsman, I've sensed a conflict with you, a fear, a concern that resides within you still. Be calm, be confident. Your judgment is clear. Your will now needs to be iron. With this weapon, I impart you my blessing. and giving you the strength that you need. Will you be my champion?
Yes.
And with that, similar to Lavin, eyes turn to flames, fire courses down her hands, engulfs your weapon, and when it comes back to and fro, when you take the handle, it is warm to the touch, and along the barrel of the gun, from time to time, are small flicks of ember light, like cinders on a campfire. I believe it was Al next who chose his little sharp.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. Okay. And she extends her hands towards you. And what do you place upon her hands?
The plastic knife.
She gives a small smile and she says, "This is more than what meets the eye, as are you, Jordan Castle. Remember that. Allow this to be a symbol of your very being. From outside might look weak and pointless. Inside resides the cunning sharpness of a devoted follower. Remember your true self, and regardless of what the exterior says, you will always be so. Will you be my champion?"
Yes.
With that, flames course down her hand and engulf the simple plastic blade. And in the sparkling fire, you can see it shift naturally into its dagger form and into its vibroblade form, and then finally back into its plastic form. And when it's in its plastic form, it has no embers on it whatsoever. It still looks mundane and plain. But when put into its knife or vibroblade form, you can see the embers, the little red specks flowing through the blade itself. And regardless of its form, it is warm to the touch, encouraging, strengthening you. Tom?
Yes.
Ambria moves towards you. Sorry, not Ambria. Mir moves towards you, her hands extended. What do you put into them?
The black light blade.
Excellent. She says, "In you I feel the fire of combat the most. You have been fighting all your life, but understand, even for true warriors, combat isn't a full reality." And she looks you deep in the eyes, and she says, "You are stronger than you will ever know. Temper that flame, and it will be brighter than anything that has ever befallen you. Tom, will you be my champion?"
Absolutely.
With that, flames course from her eyes, down her arms, engulfing the black light blade, and the black light itself begins to flicker and pop as the flames course it. And as the flames die down, the simple hilt of the blade itself, put back into your hands, feels warm to the touch. And when you engage the blade itself, something unique to you and you alone happens. Is that you feel, perhaps it is to your kindred elemental spirit, to Mir, perhaps it's an additional blessing that she gives. But you can either have the black light blade have its regular black light, or you can have it be a flaming torch of fire. You can change its appearance at will.
Wow. That's awesome.
Now here's the real reward. For each of those weapons that have been blessed, you have a permanent, as in will never go away, +2 to strike. That's either melee or ranged, whatever the weapon it is. +1 to parry, if applicable, so typically hand-to-hand weapons, and +10 damage, regardless of ammunition that you put in it. And so that's either if it's an SDC weapon, it does +10 damage SDC. If it's an MDC weapon, it does +10 damage MDC. These are also considered holy weapons, which means for those creatures that are harmed by holy weapons, and there are many of them out there, this will do additional damage. It's like you have a sacred sword, right? Or a blessed blank.
Shotgun of righteousness.
Kind of.
That's so fucking cool.
Okay. Time for the final blessing by Cassiel. Cassiel, the one in the wingless angel in the flowing garb that resembles water itself, moves to each and every single one of you. And we'll do the same order that we've been doing the last little bit. And he'll move over to Lavin first. And he says, put whatever selfish, cruel things you have done back in the past. You are going to be my champion now. And I demand righteousness, purity, and good judgment. Lavin, will you be my champion?
At this, Lavin hesitates a moment and kind of gives a brief look around and swallows once and says, yes, I accept.
Good. It is not an easy thing to accept, but doing so will protect you for all the days of your life. Please hold still. And with that, the robes on Cassiel seem to swell and grow and become wider and wider. And it's clear now that his robes are made of liquid water. And like a stream, like that babbling brook far in the distance, the water begins to form from his clothes and awash Lavin from head to toe. The water is cool and refreshing as it touches your skin, Lavin. And although it coats you from head to foot, and when the cool wind blows on you, you do not shiver or uncomfortable. And in a matter of moments, the water evaporates from you. But inside you, that water, even though it's evaporated, is now, for lack of a better word, a psychic shell has covered you. You feel different. Nothing extremely so, but you feel that you can face the supernatural with more resilience now. I'll get to the effect once everyone's been accepted the gift, if they choose to or not. Cassiel moves over to Patrick. He says, for mortals, rationalizing cruelty is one of the worst things that they can do. Be mindful of that, as you will be my champion. Will you be my champion?
Yes.
Good. And similarly to Lavin, the water erupts from the clothes of Cassiel, covers you head to toe. And although the water is refreshing, you do not shiver afterwards, and you feel girded, protected. To, I believe it was Al. Yes, Al next. Cassiel steps towards you, and he says, you struggle daily against the world and its own cruelty. Do not repay it with brutality. Become my champion. Do you accept? Jordan, will you be my champion?
Yes.
Good. With that, the water emerges from his clothes, coating you from head to foot. And in the end, you feel resolved in your decision and protected by the blessing. Cassiel moves over towards Tom, and he says, Do not fear the waters of purity I will put upon you. It will not quench your fire. But remember, flames burn both the innocent and guilty alike. It is a moral mind that determines where that flame is pushed towards. Do you understand?
I understand.
Will you be my champion?
Absolutely.
And with that, the water erupts from his trappings, his clothes, coating you from head to foot. And with you, it simmers and hisses a little bit. But you do not evaporate the blessing away, and you feel protected and girded. Cassiel looks towards you. He says, What I have given to you, my champions, is something that will make evil always thirst. Stay righteous, stay good. Forsake brutality, torture, and carnage. And no supernatural entity will possess you at any time. Out of character, you are now immune from the possession of any supernatural entity. That is an alien intelligence. That is whatever it might be. You cannot be possessed unless you agree to it. Like if you were to make a pact with a devil or something like that. Otherwise, you are immune.
Take that, eye stalk planet.
That actually might be really helpful.
That might be super helpful for that. Holy shit.
With that, the spirits of light will converge together, and they'll say, The rituals have been complete, the words have been said. The rest is up to you, brave mortals. Go, prepare for your quest, and return here when you are ready.
Okay.
Patrick does a good old jog back to if the ship is there, the ship is.
Yep, the ship will still be there.
I'm just trying to still take all of this in.
There you go. Fair enough. It's understandable. If you guys like, we can wrap up the session now.
Sure. I think it's a nice place.
I think it's a nice place. You're blessed. You're ready to go. And then you guys can also think during the week what last little things you need to finish off. Obviously, you've got your little ferry bot aid wild spec to kind of finish off with, which will be done with relative quickness. Yeah. I know you might want to go to Laszlo, talk with Lee. You might want to get some things to prepare. We'll deal with that at the beginning of next session. We'll tie up all those little teeny tiny loose ends. Yeah. And then, my friends, what is it there? Second star to the left and straight on till morning. We're going to start her up.
Yeah, we got to ask who wants to join in on this wild ride.
Yeah.
Exactly. Some people might not be up for it. Some people might.
There is something that I have been kind of pondering, and that's the fact that like we made this deal with Perrin and all of that, and apart from all the stuff we did in Laszlo, like not Laszlo, but Ishpeming, like we haven't really held up our end of that bargain.
Yeah, it's only been a couple of weeks since you made the deal there.
That
might be something you might want to talk to Zoe about.
Yeah. Like maybe
I'm sure he has an interest in saving the world.
maybe Zoe
Yeah.
wants to go back, or maybe he wants to come with us. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm all for talking to certain people, and especially Lee, because I know Lee said he wanted to come with us when we went to go fight whatever was going to do the world, but this is kind of indirect, so we should ask.
Yeah.
We're going to fight it, kind of.
We're gonna
find out how to fight it good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna find out how to fight it.
We're gonna find out what its glowing weak point is, and we're gonna shoot at it.
It's his giant eye.
And look at my knife. Holds up plastic knife. Look at it. It's special.
So my black light blade now does 1d4 times 10 plus 10 damage.
Yep. Well, when it's activated, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a Techno-Wizard device that has to create the blade, so it has to be active.
No.
No, you can hit a guy with the hilt.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Wait a second. No, don't these already have blades? Because I have sheaths for them that they sit in. I thought they're just normal knives until they're activated.
Mm.
No, they're
I
kind
thought
of
they were
like
more like
lightsabers.
lightsabers. Yeah.
They're like mini lightsabers.
But you could
I mean,
still have
you
a
might have
sheath.
like holsters or something for.
Okay.
Whoop,
Well,
I knocked my mic aside.
yeah. So I've got something that holds them.
Yes.
Cool.
So
Make a gun.
I may
Like
want
a
to
gun?
ask a couple more questions about this,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah,
we
lay it
can...
on me.
Well, should we do this on air or
I'll say
after?
this. Oh, it's up to you. You're controlling the live stream switch.
I'm going to shut off the live stream. Thank you guys for
Okay.
watching. Catch
Thanks
you
for watching.
guys next Wednesday when we get off, potentially, of Candyland in 3 galaxies. Thank you guys for watching.
I was going to say, we're not Candyland.
Yeah. Don't forget to check us out every Sunday. Follow up on #RiftyFell and all that good stuff. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.